in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. In those uncertain times, he was often at undisclosed locations to protect presidential succession. Almost a year after the Day of Terror, he spoke at a ceremonial congressional session in New York.
We know that our freedom came at a very high price.
Cheney helped develop a new national security strategy following 9/11. He was a hardliner, especially on the eventual Iraq war policy that the Bush administration linked to the terror threat.
Correspondent Peter Mayer notes that the longtime Republican last year endorsed Kamala Harris for president, warning about another Trump presidency. Cheney's family says he died Monday of complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Well, the polls are now open here in Georgia and across much of the country on this Election Day 2025. The only statewide votes here in Georgia are for a pair of seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission, which has oversight of the state's utilities. It's also responsible for approving rates on needs like electricity and natural gas. Meanwhile, Atlanta's mayor is up for re-election, although there hasn't been much talk about it.
It's not unusual for an incumbent to have an electoral advantage, says Georgia State University political science professor Dr. Amy Steigerwald.
Unless there is something really big that a challenger can sort of hang their head on.
But this election has been particularly quiet. Dickens is facing 3 opponents in the nonpartisan general election field. Steigerwald says widespread objections to the city's public safety training center have largely faded from view, and that alone has helped Dickens in his re-election effort. The polls close at 8 p.m. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Elsewhere around Metro Atlanta, an extension of a 1-cent sales tax is on the ballot for Gwinnett County Public Schools and Beaufort City Schools. That East Bloss has already been extended 6 times in a row. And watching a vote in California today on a redistricting plan there that could give the state as many as 5 more Democratic seats in Congress. Prop 50 is a direct reaction to a similar plan in Texas that added 5 seats for Republicans. Now, you can stay tuned to 95.5 WSB for election results as they come in tonight. In other news, watching the investigation following the overnight news that a former Atlanta Hawks executive may be facing significant prison time for allegedly defrauding the team out of millions of dollars over several years.
Lester Jones joined the team's front office in 2016, working his way up to senior vice president of finance. But beginning in 2017, federal prosecutors say he used company credit cards and fake invoices to fund luxury trips, jewelry, and other personal expenses. In all, he is alleged to have stolen over $3.8 million, concealing the fraud by altering financial reports and falsifying emails to make personal spending appear legitimate. Jones has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of wire fraud. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's one of several mall redevelopment projects being considered around Metro Atlanta. The Alpharetta City Council may vote later this month on creating a tax allocation district for the area around North Point Mall. Consultant tells council members they looked at several similar projects around the country.
We believe that this project could be one of the largest in the United States based on the amount of acreage and the location.
He says it could generate hundreds of millions of dollars in new tax revenue. The city does not have any firm redevelopment proposals yet, but they are expected to include a mix of housing, retail, hotels, and office space. It's also been mentioned for a possible new pro hockey arena. It's 9:03. Mark Aram Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start on the roads and Smiling Mark McKay.
Difficult through the work zone, Judd, made even more so by what the DOT has said is a vehicle fire cleanup in 2 right lanes. A travel advisory stands in DeKalb County. This is I-20 westbound at I-285, exit 68. The delays back toward Evans Mill and the Stonecrest area has put extra pressure on Covington Highway. East side perimeter improving. 285 north, leaving Covington Highway up to where a right lane injury crash works. Just north of Clarkston, north of Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway, and still difficult on the west side perimeter. We had an early morning crash investigation, long gone, but still heavy from Hollowell Parkway on the inner loop, trying to get up to I-75. Still a lot of slow traffic left over into downtown Atlanta. Ashley Frasca.
Well, an unusually backed up Beaufort Spring connector headed northbound out of town. A left lane crash lingers before Sidney Marcus. Do not get on the Beaufort Spring if you're leaving Midtown Atlanta. 85 southbound crowded in beginning before North Druid Hills. 400 south from just below Lenox, and slow rolling on the connector north all the way between 166 and I-20. Triple team traffic. 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunny skies today, high 68, lows tonight in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48, afternoon high 75.
Currently 48 degrees in Conyers, 47 in Kennesaw, 52 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends. A crisp but beautiful day in the A. The Mark Arum Show from now till noon at your beck and call. So much to talk about. So many amazing guests today. Going to start off by saying rest in peace to former Vice President Dick Cheney. Passed away at the age of 84. You heard the news break during Atlanta's Morning News with Chris Chandler. We'll go in depth on the life and times of Dick Cheney a little bit later on in the show. Scott Slade's going to join us as he does every Tuesday. In-depth coverage from Scott on the ACA benefits, the healthcare, Obamacare benefits, and the subsidies that are expiring. Obviously, a huge, huge story for a lot of folks listening right now. So Scott Slade will go in depth. And then Deborah, we've got two amazing entertainment guests. 80s pop legend Debbie Gibson's going to join us at 10:50. Always a pleasure to talk to Debbie Gibson. You're old enough to remember Debbie Gibson.
Yeah, I was in elementary school when she popped.
Yeah. She was a huge deal in the 80s, so I'm always excited to talk to her. Kenrick Green, actor from The Walking Dead, is going to join us live in studio, and our buddy George Estevez from Channel 2. We are going to start with, and you heard complete election coverage on Atlanta's Morning News. It is Election Day here in Georgia, covering what you can expect at the polls today. And I know a lot of folks that have come up to me before the show, like, I don't even know where I'm voting. I don't know what I'm voting for. It's one of these, Austin Eller in studio, it's one of these weird mid-cycle elections that folk, there's no huge governor race or Senate race or it's kind of a weird election. So there are some questions out there. So Austin has been kind enough to lend us his noggin and explain what folks are going to be voting for when they go to the polls today in Georgia.
Yeah, so like you said, it's an off year, so nothing major. In fact, there are only 2 elections on ballot statewide right now, and those are the 2 special elections for the Georgia Public Service Commission.
Which normally wouldn't be here, but there was something funky, right? The tenures were extended.
Yep.
And
so this is the first time anyone has voted at all on the Georgia Public Service Commission seats, except for primaries, which it's a long story, but the last time a general quote-unquote election was held for the Public Service Commission was 2020.
Yeah.
So, and these are 4-year terms. So there was a whole ordeal, without getting too far into it, regarding there was a legal challenge about whether these candidates should or should not live in these districts that they represent, even though people vote on these districts statewide. So candidate X may live in District 2, but the whole state votes on District 2.
So for folks that are unfamiliar, what are we voting for in this election? Who are these people?
Yeah. So there are 2 incumbents that are running, Fitz Johnson and Tim Echols.
Mm-hmm.
They both have candidates or opponents rather running against them, Democratic opponents running against them. And basically what this Public Service Commission does is they regulate our utilities. So that includes our internet, our electricity, our natural gas, just a wide range of things. And they typically kind of fly in the background. It's
under the radar.
Right. It's not something you hear about often, but because this is the only 2 statewide elections this cycle, they've really kind of popped this time around. They are responsible for approving things like rate increases. Georgia Power comes to them with proposals for, Plant Vogel or whatever it may be.
So it's not a household position or household names, but pretty important statewide election.
Absolutely. The Public Service Commission has an impact on everybody. I mean, it's something that even though you may not be aware of what they are, it is something that does have a direct impact on you and what you pay monthly for your utilities.
All right, so that is the one ballot that everyone listening here in Georgia will be voting on.
Yep.
Now, down ballot, it'll be different depending on where you live. What are some of the down ballot things that folks will be voting on today?
Yeah, so the biggest one, each city, each county has its own stuff. So I would highly recommend, first off, just a quick note, go to the Secretary of State's My Voter page. Log in on there. It'll show you what people are voting for in your city or your county.
And it'll tell you where to vote.
Exactly.
If folks might... I just asked Maya last night. I'm like, where are we voting?
Yeah.
Is it the library or the church? She said the church.
Yeah.
I said,
so
okay.
Check that because each city, each county is different. I would say the biggest one that, most people in the state are probably interested in would be the mayoral race here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, of course, Mayor Dickens is running for re-election. He's facing 3 opponents. So that's kind of the big one. There are others as well, a lot of mayoral races. And another one that's kind of gained some attention over the past, I'd say, year is the mayoral race in the city of South Fulton. There's been a lot of controversy there with the mayor and some allegations of misused spending. He is actually facing...
Some allegations?
Yeah, just some allegations.
A potpourri of allegations.
Yes. He has 8 opponents running against him. So that's, this is my opinion, but I'm sure that's going to a runoff. Just because with that many people in an election.
Let me go back to the Atlanta mayoral race, because usually that's a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
We Keisha Lance Bottoms, Mary Norwood. We've had some big. I don't even know who's running against the mayor. Is there a Republican opponent running against Mayor Dickens?
I am trying to remember. I think they're all. I don't want to misspeak.
Okay,
I think they're all Democratic, but I'm not positive.
That's because usually
there might be one Republican.
That's usually that's a big election but it seems like Mayor Dickens is going to win.
It's been pretty quiet. So that's the observation that we've seen is it's been a pretty quiet election cycle. In fact, even Mayor Dickens, there hasn't been a whole lot of advertising from him or
nothing.
from the other three. Really leading up to this, so it's been a little softer than normal. Of course, he has a lot to compete with. Of course, the whole thing with the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, pretty controversial situation surrounding his first term. So I'm sure voters, as they head to the polls today, will be thinking about that as they vote for next mayor of Atlanta, whether that's him or otherwise. But yeah, it's been a pretty quiet race.
Election day preview from Austin Eller live in studio here on the Mark Arum Show. So we had the statewide race, we have mayoral races depending on where you live. Are there any like ballot initiatives or just some weird stuff that folks might be like, oh, what is this on the ballot?
So there are a few different SPLOST votes around. So those are the special purpose local option sales tax. So like the extra penny per dollar. Those are kind of floating around the metro. I think the biggest one, though, is probably the eSPLOST vote in Gwinnett County. So
that's transportation.
It's for education.
So
it's for schools. So they're trying to extend this eSPLOST and basically
eSPLOST, not T-SPLOST. Okay,
correct. They're trying to continue raising money for the school system and do some renovations and things like that. So that's probably the biggest one since it's
polls close when? I heard that we might stay open later in some jurisdictions.
So everywhere except for the city of Atlanta. I'm sure there are maybe a few exceptions, but it should be 7:00. Now the city of Atlanta will close at 8, but there's some weird rules there. So the way this was going to work is if you show up within the city of Atlanta at 7 or later, so between that 7 and 8 time frame, you can only vote in the municipal. So you can only vote for the mayor's race.
Gotcha.
You can
not
only
a
vote in the
statewide
city council. You cannot vote in the public service commission races.
All right. Interesting.
So,
polls close at 7 statewide. 8 in Atlanta. If you're there between 7 and 8, just whatever you just say.
Just city elections, municipal elections.
Yeoman's work for bringing. Thank you for that. I know it's a wonky story to cover, but it's election day.
It is.
It's election day,
and it's important.
Yeah, it is important. Austin, great job as always, my friend. All right, continuing our team coverage of Election Day, White House correspondent John Decker. John, we just went in depth on what we're going to be voting for here in Georgia, but there's a lot of big races outside the state of Georgia, New Jersey, Virginia, et cetera. What are we watching today?
Well, so much is at stake. And let's talk about the mayor's race in New York City first. Last night, President Trump actually endorsing Andrew Cuomo, the independent. Of course, he's a Democrat, but he's running as an independent for New York City's mayorship. And the president saying he is the best candidate to lead New York City, America's largest city. We'll see if that endorsement has any impact at all in terms of the results in New York City. Cuomo had been trailing Mondami, who, of course, is the Democratic nominee in New York, an avowed socialist, but the president says he believes that the best person to lead the nation's largest city is Andrew Cuomo. New Jersey is an important race. That's the race for governor. There you have Republicans trying to flip that seat. It's now held by a Democratic, and right now that race is so close, too close to call, will ultimately have to come down to turnout to determine who wins that race. And then in Virginia, another governor's race. There, Republicans are trying to hold on to the governor's mansion. I don't think they're going to be able to do that based upon every poll that I've seen. It looks like Democrats are going to flip that seat, and that would be a big win for them in this election cycle.
John, let's go back to the Trump endorsement of Cuomo. Curtis Sliwa is the Republican nominee. He's in this race. Have we heard from Mr. Sliwa on the President Trump endorsing the quote independent in this race?
Well, Curtis Sliwa, as you mentioned, is the Republican nominee. The president just just doesn't feel he can win. He feels it's a wasted vote for New York City voters who are considering him. And what he's suggesting is that instead of voting for Sliwa, they potentially hold their nose and pull the lever for Andrew Cuomo. I'm sure that's disappointing to Curtis Sliwa. That being said, I have not seen one poll that shows Curtis Sliwa, the founder of the Guardian Angels, to be in striking distance of winning the race for mayor in New York City.
I'll give him his campaign credit, though. I get an email from his campaign every morning in my box. Correspondent
How about that?
John Decker joining us on the Mark Arum Show. The Mondami campaign jumped on the Trump endorsement, saying this is, Trump is endorsing Cuomo. Did Cuomo embrace the endorsement? Did he push back, or is he just ignoring it?
Well, even before that happened, Cuomo, when asked about this possibility, said that he would not embrace the endorsement of Donald Trump. I think that privately he's probably saying any little bit helps when you're talking about polls showing the gap narrowing between these two front runners. So if Andrew Cuomo can pick up a percentage or 2 or 3 or 4, thanks to this endorsement from President Donald Trump, I think he'll take it.
Sure.
Ultimately, all he's concerned about is winning the mayor's race.
Sure. Final quick question for you. California Prop 50, that's has something to do with redistricting the House seats, correct?
It does. It's California's answer to what's happening in Texas. Texas is redistricting. They want to gain a few seats, a few Republican seats in the House of Representatives. So essentially, California, our largest state, says we'll match you. If you're going to try to add Republican seats, we're going to try to add Democratic seats. And that's what that proposition is all about. That proposition looks like it's going to pass, and pass easily. In fact, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, thinks it's now a slam dunk that they will win on that proposition vote.
Wow. We'll be watching the polls. White House correspondent John Decker. John, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, John. Election day in Georgia, and as John mentioned, a couple of big races. That New York City mayor's race is pretty. If I'm Curtis Sliwa, Deborah, he's the founding member of the Hells Angels, not the Hells Angels, whatever.
Angels. I know what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's the Republican. He's on the ballot, and President Trump's like, no, vote for Cuomo, who he hates. I'd be so steamed if I was Curtis Sliwa right now. Here's the deal. This is like, again, an off-year election. Judd Higginbotham, you've been at WSB Radio for a long time. You've spent many a night in the WSB Radio newsroom on election night.
Yeah.
On a weird off-year election like this, is there election night pizza in the newsroom?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to say probably not, unless somebody really wants to go out on a limb.
Deborah, you say no? It's not going to happen?
I bet no. We can check in with Shelley tonight. He'll let us know.
Yeah. The only reason I think it's weird because, but we have that statewide race, and there's the Atlanta mayoral. I mean, the news team's going to be here working just as hard as any other election night.
With all due respect to the mayor and the Public Service Commission, I don't think you're going to have not as much pizza.
Here's the curveball.
Yeah.
Michelle Wright, former Marist College graduate with me, Connecticut native like me. She just went to the New Haven-style pizza place in Kennesaw called Abitz.
Ooh.
And she said, I was texting her with it yesterday. This is very exciting for Connecticut New Haven-style pizza friend. And she said it was legit. So maybe Michelle Wright is going to go out because she's going to be working tonight.
Her shift would be the one to bring it, I think. Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. Jennifer Perry, if you're listening, it's election night. There should be election night pizza. When we come back, we're going to update our top local stories at 9:19 on the Mark Arum Show. Got to check that Tuesday morning drive around town. Any better news on the Buford Spring Connector, Mike Shields?
Yeah, crash is cleared. That's the good news. Still clogged up, though, on the Buford Spring Connector north and south, especially really anywhere between Midtown and Georgia 400. Things improving on the west side perimeter after all lanes were just held once again on the west side perimeter, Mark, as a stalled tractor trailer was just towed to the right shoulder, 2B5 northbound, the inner loop at Bolton Road exit 13, and slow now in Union City with rolling roadwork in 2 left lanes, 85 northbound getting past Flat Shoals Road exit 66. The support is brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies, and services for your package to get there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSBU.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Wednesday, starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, what you need to know is the Supreme Court takes up a possibly game-changing money case. We'll have the election returns and why Clark says it's not the time to borrow money on WSB.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
With our weather extremes, I wanted windows that would stand the test of time. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I found them. I love my Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. I was blown away. They're energy efficient and incredibly durable. 8 times stronger than vinyl, so they last. Experience the fiberglass difference in your home or in their new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Sell your home with Mark Spain Real Estate and get the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we make mattress shopping easy. We offer our lowest and best price to everyone, every day, so you can shop when you're ready. We show you exactly what's inside of our mattresses so you can see and feel the quality for yourself to ensure you're getting the best value. And we offer a no-pressure shopping experience. Our team is here to help you find the best mattress for you. It's that easy. Visit an OMF location today to see the Original Mattress Factory difference for yourself.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit ScottAntiqueMarket.com for more information.
Hey, it's Shaquille O'Neal. You're listening to the lyric dropping, traffic mopping, Hall of Fame gloating, drive time promoting. This is the Mark Arum Show. Deb Green hit my music.
9:24 on this Election Day edition of the Mark Arum Show. That was Shaq Diesel. Any excuse to play the Shaq rejoin. The only man in Atlanta can get away with calling Deborah Green Deb Green. Shaq's stolen SUV still in the headlines. Have we located it, Deborah? What's going on?
Unfortunately not, but Lumpkin County has issued some search warrants in the case for the stolen Range Rover. It's a 2025 SUV. They're saying it's about $180,000 worth. And, you know, this was what last week we talked about.
Yeah.
It was going from Dahlonega to Atlanta, disappeared somewhere. So now they got in touch with the transport company, because it's not like he had a friend drive it down, right? And so the transport company is saying, I think our system was hacked. People were like trying to figure out, oh, it was supposed to go here, but then it was rerouted to this other location. So that company has been working with the police. So they don't think it's the transport company itself. But the people that customized it, they're called Effortless Motors. They're offering $10,000 reward to get this to get it back to Shaq.
From what I've learned in The Sopranos, from Pussy Bompancero, who owned the Chop Shop, he was the guy that, you know, that was his thing, stolen cars. This Shaq SUV is now in Eastern Europe or Russia, or it's in a million pieces.
It's with the Louvre jewels.
It's with the it's gone. Unless people realized, oh, this is Shaq's, and they just parked it at like Hartsfield long-term parking. You know, sometimes you'll do that. If you steal a car and you're like, oh no, I just stole Tony Soprano's car, let me just leave it in the Newark Airport parking lot. That could be. So those are the three options right now. Shaq, if you're listening, you probably don't want to hear this. It was either sold to a Russian oligarch. It was either chopped up at a similar Pussy Bompancero chop shop somewhere in Metro Atlanta, or it's at, you know, gathering dust at the long-term parking at Hartsfield Jackson.
Is LoJack still a thing?
They should be.
I feel like on a car like that, you'd have it, right?
But it, hasn't even been. I guess the consumer.
Well, they customized it. I mean, isn't that a finishing touch?
Shaq, it would have to be delivered to Shaq, and then he would have to install LoJack and the club. Are those still a thing? The club?
My aunt still uses the club.
I bet if we brought a club in here and showed it to Vinny, he wouldn't know what it was.
Vinny has no idea what a club is.
No idea what a club is. Anyway,
I think it's a sandwich.
Thoughts and prayers to Shaq. Shaq, it's gone. Just go. And unfortunately, a guy his size, he can't just go to Allen Vigil Ford and be like, all right, give me an Explorer, because he's got to get custom. He's huge. Anyway, thoughts and prayers to Shaq.
He orders another one. Vinny will drive it and deliver it to him.
My grandmother used to live in Atlanta, and she moved back to New York, and she hired a guy to drive her like 89 Pontiac and that was his job. He was he would drive up and then take the train down. I can't really use that as a side hustle because I'll be out of town. All right, hang on, Chris Chandler. We're going to break. Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, the breaking news: Vice President Dick Cheney passed away at the age of 84. Pretty monumental vice president. We'll relive his life and times, and we'll see what the White House is doing in response. That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Do you have a plumbing issue but have a busy weekday schedule? Superior Plumbing can schedule an appointment that fits your schedule. They show up on time and get the job done right the first time. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years.
Hey, it's Chris Chandler here. I want to tell you about something that made the look of my house absolutely pop not long ago. That was having Wise Guys Pro Wash over to do their magic on the house, the driveway, the patio, the roof. They even cleaned the curb outside so the whole property practically looks brand new. It really made a difference, and they didn't blast that yuck away with any high-pressure big box store washers either. Wise Guys uses only the best equipment in the business. They soft wash everything, and that means it's safe on your paint, your trim, your siding, everything. My home, from top to bottom, from the front and in the back, looks brand new. So you, give Wise Guys a try. One call, a quick quote, next day service. They don't even need anybody home while they're there. It's super easy. Get your place ready for fall entertainment and the holidays to come with Wise Guys Pro Wash. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and book now to get $70 off your first wash. WiseGuysProWash.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Scott Slade from iRoofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but unsure about timing? FGA offers a free drone roof assessment. Get a quote and mention me and you'll get $1,000 off your quote. And the quote will be good for 12 months. Search FGA Roofing to book an appointment today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story, watching reaction from around the country today following this morning's news that former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. His family releasing a statement saying and calling Cheney, quote, a great and good man who taught his children and grandchildren to love our country. Cheney also served as defense secretary and congressman, but he's remembered as one of the most powerful vice presidents in U.S. history. He summed up his own legacy, saying he had no regrets.
In terms of how I performed, some people will agree with it. I run into them all the time. I also run into people that didn't like what I did or why I did it. But I'm very comfortable with what I did and why I did it and how I did it. And I'll let others judge whether they liked it or not.
Cheney's family says he died from complications from pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. It's 54 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says, see mostly sunny skies today. The high getting up near 70 degrees. We get even warmer tomorrow after tonight's low dips back into the mid-40s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Voters head to the polls today around Georgia, although the only statewide races are special elections for a pair of seats on the Public Service Commission.
The seats up for election are in the 2nd District, which covers the eastern part of Georgia in the cities of Athens and Savannah. Incumbent Tim Echols and Alicia Johnson are running in that District 2 race. In the District 3 seat, which covers much of metro Atlanta, including Fulton and DeKalb counties, incumbent Fitz Johnson and Peter Hubbard are running in the race. Both incumbents are Republicans. The 5-member PSC regulates major utilities and influences everything from our home's electricity to internet and gas reliability. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens is up for re-election today against 3 main competitors, although none has been able to pick up any traction. And East Bloss is also on the ballot in Gwinnett County to fund Gwinnett Public Schools and Beaufort City Schools. That's been approved 6 straight times. Elsewhere around the country, on the ballot today in California, a redistricting plan that could have a major impact in next year's midterm elections.
If passed, Proposition 50 would allow California lawmakers to redraw congressional lines in 2026, adding 5 Democratic seats to Congress. It's in response to Texas redrawing their congressional districts to add 5 Republicans in the House.
Reporter Emily Valdez says opponents call the measure governmental overreach. Polling, though, shows it is likely to pass in California. And watching a listeria outbreak that's reached Georgia, it's linked to prepared pasta meals that have left 6 people dead so far.
The frozen meals supplied by Nate's Fine Foods were sold at major grocery chains across the country, with names like Trader Joe's Cajun-style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo and Sprouts Farmers Market's smoked mozzarella pasta salad.
Michael Wallace reports just warming up the meals will not kill the bacteria. 27 people have been sickened across 18 states, including Georgia, although no deaths have been reported here so far. It's 9:33 as you check your money, and boy, what an ugly start on Wall Street as the bell rings this morning. The NASDAQ is down more than 350 points. S&P is down almost 80 points. And Dow is down about 400 points, now ticking down below 400 points to start your Tuesday morning. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center, and Mike Shields.
And Judd, watching delays grow in Conyers now behind a crash reported I-20 westbound just past Highway 138 exit 82. Live look at the jam cam. Those brake lights really starting to glow quickly. You can use Dogwood Drive as an alternate out of Conyers to get around those brake lights, or Iris Drive. Closer to town, rolling roadwork impacting you between Fairburn and Union City. 85 northbound getting past Flat Shoals Road exit 66. That's in 2 left lanes. Delays already back 2 miles back before Highway 138. I'm Mike Schultz, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. Sunny skies through this afternoon, high 68. Sunset this evening around 5:45. Temperatures falling to the mid-40s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48. Afternoon high 75.
It's 54 degrees right now in Stockbridge, 53 in Lilburn, 55 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Everyone can get full benefits. The only person standing in the way is Donald Trump.
Senator Chuck Schumer, day 35 of the government shutdown. We'll update that. But coming up next, rest in peace to Vice President Dick Cheney. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
As we all start to ponder the things we're thankful for, how about sparing a thought for your faithful garage door? Protecting your car from the wind and rain, standing guard against hurricanes and pelican poop. If crazy Uncle Mick ruins yet another dinner being overly thankful to a bottle of cheap hooch, how about you thank the hard-working garage door who's always there for you? Drive in and drive out. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. We can help you show some love by keeping your garage door healthy and happy. Clean and lubricate the tracks and rollers, or repair some old damage that gets on your nerves. And your door will stay loyal for years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and treat him nicer than Uncle Mick.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Will my hair really grow back?
Do I still get to have a birthday party?
Can my teddy come into the machine with me?
Will you stay with me tonight, Mommy?
Every day, kids at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta ask questions they should never have to. By giving today, you can help us answer them. With your support, our kids get the care and treatment they need. And even a birthday, they'll never forget. Give to Children's for that. Donate today at choa.org/give.
Welcome your guests into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention WSB and you'll get $75 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR75 when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com.
Considering a new roof? FGA Roofing offers a free roof assessment. Mention Tim Andrews and your free quote will be discounted $750. And that's good for 1 year. Ask about their 0% financing plans. Visit FGARoofing.com for a quote today.
I aim to try and tap that great American spirit that opened up this completely undeveloped continent from coast to coast and made it a great nation.
45 years ago today, as heard on WSB Radio, Ronald Reagan, aided by the Iran hostage crisis and a declining economy at home, was elected president, ousting Jimmy Carter in a landslide. This was President Carter after the election results came in.
I promised you 4 years ago that I would never lie to you. So I can't stand here tonight and say it doesn't hurt.
45 years ago. I remember. I was so upset, Deborah. I knew I was 45. I was 5 years old. 5 years old. But Jimmy Carter was the first president that I knew.
Oh, he was like the only president.
The only
you knew,
president
right?
I knew. And I didn't know. And I mean, I'm 5. I didn't know Democrat, Republican. I just knew that Jimmy Carter. And I was like, what do you mean he's not the president anymore? I didn't know that was a thing. I remember being very upset that Jimmy Carter lost that election, but that was 45 years ago today. Rest in peace to Dick Cheney, former vice president, passed away. Complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Peter Mayer has more on the vice president.
We are now looking at flames shooting out of the north side of number 1 World Trade Center, but there are at least some windows.
History will recall Vice President Dick Cheney's key role in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. In those uncertain times, he was often at undisclosed locations to protect presidential succession. Almost a year after the Day of Terror, he spoke at a ceremonial congressional session in New York.
We know that our freedom came at a very high price. We have no intention now of letting it slip away.
Cheney helped develop a new national security strategy following 9/11. He was a hardliner, especially on the eventual Iraq war policy that the Bush administration linked to the terror threat.
Dick Cheney, to me, at the end of his life, was a man was stateless. Right, so obviously he had a long storied political career before he became vice president under George Bush, and 9/11 really, and what happened after 9/11. I mean he's stateless in this fact. During the Trump era, the Cheney family became personas non gratas, right? With Liz Cheney and the January 6th committee and the impeachment vote. Dick Cheney, who was, the most hardcore Republican in my lifetime, came out and endorsed Kamala Harris in the last election. Like, there was that famous ad where he threw Trump under the bus. So in the MAGA crowd, Dick Cheney is an enemy of the state. And for Democrats, what he did after 9/11, the weapons of mass destruction and starting the wars, like, he's an enemy of the state to Democrats. So the dude basically died stateless. He has a very narrow area of broad support. There's no broad support. There are folks that will be Dick Cheney lifetime fans, but the MAGA crowd dislikes him. Democrats dislike him. It's pretty amazing. I'm going to steal this from Eric Erickson. I'm giving him credit, so it's not stealing. He made a great point on Twitter this morning. I'm going to quote him so I don't misquote him. The former vice president of the United States is dead at 84. He was the most influential vice president in modern American history. Other presidents have credited their vice presidents with influence and power. Cheney had both. I don't disagree with Eric Erickson. When you think about vice presidents, you have Mike Pence, right? Did what he had to do, but wasn't a big policymaker. There was no... Mike Pence earned his stripes or became historic after the 2020 election. Prior to that, he was a vice president. Walter Mondale. I guess, if vice presidents rise to the presidency like the elder Bush, then they have their own legacy. But Dan Quayle, Joe Biden was vice president for 8 years, but he didn't, get into the history books as a vice president. He got into the history books as a president. So I totally agree with Eric. In modern American history, Dick Cheney is the most influential president, certainly vice president of my lifetime. So much so, I should add, pull this audio. There was one of those White House press dinners, the White House correspondent dinners, and they make jokes or whatever. And Barack Obama was speaking during his presidency, and he said, Dick Cheney has called me the worst president of his lifetime, which I find funny because Dick Cheney is the worst president of my lifetime. But that's the power that we think Cheney had in the Bush White House. George Bush was elected governor of Texas, but he didn't have those, the bona fides. So the ideal running mate for George Bush was Dick Cheney, right? He's got the foreign policy experience. He's got the military background. He served in previous administrations. He was the elder statesman to the younger Bush, much like Biden was when Obama got elected, right? Barack Obama was, the freshman senator from Chicago with not much political history. So enter Joe Biden. He's been, on Capitol Hill for 40 years. He knows international affairs, et cetera, et cetera. So Cheney was that. And I don't disagree with Eric that Cheney was the most influential vice president of our times. Dick Cheney, at the age of 84, has passed away. ABC News chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl with more on Cheney's life in service.
Cheney was also a driving force behind the removal of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. He played a central role in making the case for the 2003 invasion of Iraq, arguing that Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction.
Simply stated, there is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction. There is no doubt that he is amassing them to use against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
Despite subsequent revelations that there were no weapons of mass destruction, Cheney said the decision to go to war against Iraq was the right one.
So Dick Cheney, vice president, like your vice president, that's the headline of your obituary. But he was a former White House chief of staff, served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 79 to 89, was Secretary of Defense from 89 to 93, then was vice president from 2001 to 2009. That's a pretty long political career. I mentioned, Deborah, I don't know to remind you, but President Trump vehemently disliked Dick Cheney, especially after Cheney endorsed Kamala Harris in the last election. Have we heard any reaction from the Trump administration yet on the passing of Dick Cheney? Elena Treen at the White House.
We have not. He has not posted on social media about Dick Cheney. I will say he has been posting this morning, just not about the death of the former vice president. We have not yet received a statement from the White House either. We're, of course, also keeping an eye on the flags here at the White House. They typically are lowered to half staff after a death of a former vice president like this. But, and you mentioned this, Kate, these two men had a very, very complicated relationship. Cheney actually had supported President Donald Trump despite Trump, when he was running in the 2016 election, his abandonment of kind of the traditional conservatism, making the GOP less of a Reagan Republican Party and more of a populist nationalist GOP. But it was after the president, when he was leaving his first term, had refused to accept the election results of 2020. That is when Dick Cheney had spoken out and, as you mentioned, shared very critical words about President Donald Trump, and then ultimately chose in a very public way to not support him in his race at his second bid for the White House, instead supporting the former vice president, Kamala Harris. And I would note as well, of course, that he was a big supporter of his daughter, the former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who had a major role in the House committee that investigated the former President Donald Trump during his first term. This was when he was out of office, this investigation ran, but investigated his role into the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. And look, the president has had harsh words as well for Dick Cheney around all of this. He's called Cheney a, quote, irrelevant rhino. They've sparred publicly on a lot of things. So it'll be interesting to see what the response, of course, is from this White House. But I also want to make clear, of course, just looking back on the storied and long political career that the former Vice President Dick Cheney had. I mean, he was often criticized as being too conservative, being too hardline on a lot of the conservative beliefs he had. And so what he did and in his response to President Donald Trump was a big change, of course, from what the nation had really seen him be when he was vice president, and also in his careers as congressman and defense secretary before that.
Elena Treen at the White House. I am going to try to see if the Trump administration has posted anything on social about the passing of Dick Cheney. Traditionally, Deborah, flags are flown at half staff after the death of a vice president. What do you think? Do you think that the feud will prevent President Trump from flying the flag at half staff?
Do they have to wait for the president to say lower the flags, or is it just like some things
on federal buildings? I think it's the president's call.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but certainly at the White House it's the president's call.
I mean, the fact that he hasn't acknowledged anything yet, it's not like he doesn't know.
He might not.
Happened.
I don't have a Truth Social account. Maybe if you can check out Truth Social during the break, you can use a company computer for that. It's fine. Anyway, rest in peace, Dick Cheney, at the age of 84. If we get any updates on what's going to happen funeral-wise, memorials, etc., we will bring that to you here on WSB Radio. Coming up next, Kroger wants your pennies. Yeah, your pennies. I'll explain after we check the ride on this beautiful Tuesday morning, 9:48. Here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, you've seen this often in your traffic reporting career. A wrecker having all lanes blocked right now to clear a crash. I-20 westbound just past Highway 138, exit 82 in Conyers. As they try to clear this, tow truck there on scene trying to clear this right now. Delays back to Salem Road. You can use Dogwood Drive or Old Covington Highway. Great ways to avoid those brake lights. And delays continue out of Fairburn into Union City with the rolling road work in 2 left lanes. 85 northbound getting past Flat Shoals Road, exit 66, Highway 29, Roosevelt Highway. A great option to avoid those delays. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies, and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app.
If you have the WSB
all
app.
the notifications you need.
If you have the WSB app.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
Hope you had a fantastic Halloween. My wife and I certainly did. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. So check it out. We were outside in our driveway with a setup. We had the candy there. We had the Halloween decorations. We had a little soba and a bed sitting next to us. But the best part was we were able to hook up to my Xfinity Wi-Fi, even though we were well outside my house, and play creepy Halloween songs. And my wife was reading her book on her Kindle, and we were streaming shows. Bottom line is, in the lulls between the kids coming trick-or-treating, we were hooked up to their amazingly strong Xfinity Wi-Fi. And we're able to entertain ourselves even at the end of our driveway. If you do not have Xfinity Internet, you are missing out, friends. Xfinity, it truly is magic when it comes to their internet. I want you to learn more at Xfinity.com or your local Xfinity store near you. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Tax and fees extra and subject to change.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Wouldn't a fly swatter be easier?
Man who catch fly with chopstick.
Happy 64th birthday, Daniel LaRusso. Actor Ralph Macchio turned 64. That was an amazing movie. I remember seeing that in the theater, the kids, the crane kick at the end. Little I know, Ralph Macchio was 35 in that movie. He was in The Outsiders. He was in Karate Kid. And he's had a career resurgence with the updated Karate Kid reboot. Cobra Kai.
He was one of the 2 Utes.
The 2 Utes,
yep.
Yes. I bailed on the Cobra Kai after
never
like 2
watched it,
seasons.
yeah.
It was good
Was it?
and then I was like, all right.
I did wanted to stay in the originals.
I did finish watching yesterday, Deborah, Slow Horses. It's only a 6-season episode.
Yeah, they're short episodes, I know.
But they've already filmed the next season. They give you a
It'll
preview.
be another year before it comes out, though.
But it was fantastic. All right, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Happy birthday to Ralph Macchio. All right, Kroger wants your pennies. Pennies from heaven. Why is Kroger saying, hey, bring us your pennies?
Okay, well, the Mint says there's no point in making pennies anymore. It costs too much. They're not going to do it anymore. So if you have pennies, I don't know, hoard them or use them. But Kroger is saying if you plan on paying with cash, please bring exact change because they might not have enough pennies to actually give you back, which, I mean, a lot of people pay digitally anyway. And I always use my change at the auto checkout just to kind of get rid of it.
I like that.
Yeah, like it takes longer and people get annoyed with you, but it's a good way to get rid of all your change. But they're saying basically they might not have the correct amount to give you. Some stores are trying to round up and down, but technically they don't have to do that, which means you're paying a different price if you pay digitally versus paying in cash, which upsets some people. And then there's no mandate for places that have to take cash. Like you've gone somewhere and it says we're cashless, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere it requires you to take cash. But businesses can say, hey, we don't take cash anymore and basically ask people you can pay digitally.
Yeah,
now.
McDonald's says they don't have enough pennies.
Mhm.
I went to McDonald's the other day, and it was an automated voice at the drive-thru.
Oh, I thought they got rid of those.
No, it was like, hey, I was like, well, what's going on here? AI. And it was just weird. It wasn't a person.
They probably already knew your order then.
Maybe it was Bojangles. I don't know.
Dairy Queen, Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, so one of them, they had an automated voice on the thing. Maybe I was just hungover from the NyQuil that I've been taking because I've been sick. Do you use melatonin, any of you guys, to go to sleep? I know that's really, really prevalent. Folks that don't want to take medication, like over-the-counter or prescription to help them sleep at night. A lot of folks take melatonin. A study just released raising a red flag over melatonin's link to heart failure.
The American Heart Association says a review of medical records of tens of thousands of adults who took prescription melatonin for more than a year shows they had a higher risk of heart failure over 5 years compared to people who didn't take it. Both prescription and over-the-counter melatonin have the same active ingredients. But before anyone panics, sleep medicine experts and cardiologists are urging more research. The study has not been peer-reviewed yet. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I took melatonin for a little bit back in the day because NyQuil was so expensive and melatonin was so cheap, and it worked. I slept, but I had funky dreams. I stopped taking it because of the funky dreams. So heads up. Per Tom on Twitter, Deborah, thank you for this, Tom. Per U.S. code, flags at half staff for a former vice president is one of the instances that it is required. The president doesn't make that decision, but we'll see if the flag is flown at half staff. Day 35 of the government shutdown. We'll go to D.C. for the latest next. Still to come, Scott Slade, Debbie Gibson, and Deborah has more tickets to give away to see Sting. Amazing. So much more to come. Social media is up and active at Mark Arum, at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Chris Chandler here. What a difference Wise Guys Pro Wash made at my house. My driveway and patio probably hadn't been touched in 20 years. They're spotless now. Book them now yourself. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your first wash. WiseGuysProWash.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's BOGO week, so use your card for buy one, get one free deals on Kroger brand apple juice, Screamin' Sicilian pizza, and more participating items. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Veterans Day is November 11th, and Findlay Roofing honors our local vets. Who's the bestest boy, Rufus? Dave Baker here. Right now, veterans get a special $1,500 discount on roof replacement, and 0% financing is available. FindlayRoofing.com.
News, weather,
Traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Our top story this morning, remembering former Vice President Dick Cheney, considered by many political observers to be one of the most influential vice presidents in history.
Dick Cheney was called the force behind President George W. Bush, a notoriously silent but powerful VP who became an outspoken defender of the Bush administration and an ardent critic of President Obama.
When they've made all the decisions they've had, close Guantanamo, end the high-value detainee program and so forth, I think those are all mistakes.
He was beloved by conservatives and vilified by the left.
Now, Mr. Cheney was 84 years old, his family saying he died from complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. All right, your weather for today, mostly sunny, headed for a high of 68, but really cold weather is on the way, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. This is Election Day, and your vote could affect your power bill. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission are up for grabs, and whenever Georgia Power asks to raise rates or build a new power plant, they need approval from the PSC. University of Georgia political science professor Dr. Charles Bullock says there's been a lot of attention and money flowing into this particular race.
I think it's because there's not a whole lot of other things that parties or contributors are going to spend money on this year. Come next year, Georgia and lots of states are going to be electing all of their statewide officials, and so the PSC contest we hold next year are not going to get near this kind of attention.
He says he does expect it to be a close race, and turnout will be key. There are a number of other races across the metro, including races for mayor and city council seats and a number of referendums. Stay tuned to 95.5 WSB. We'll bring you the updates as the election returns start coming in tonight. Update on a man accused of wearing a Nazi costume and hitting a woman with a beer mug outside an Athens bar. New this morning, we have now learned that donors have contributed more than $20,000 in an online fundraising for his defense. 33-year-old Kenneth Leland Morgan, charged with felony aggravated assault and misdemeanor count of simple battery. The fundraiser said that he and his family had been harassed and bullied, and that the money will go to helping them as well as his legal fees. A former top executive for the Atlanta Hawks is accused of stealing millions of dollars from the NBA franchise, and he could be looking at some serious prison time.
Luxurious travel, sports cars, jewelry, and other lavish items. These are the kinds of purchases Lester Jones is accused of making over several years using team accounts and credit cards. He then allegedly took great steps to conceal the fraud with doctored records and fake emails. One instance revealed in a team audit involved a fraudulent charge of almost $230,000 allegedly spent for business while in Las Vegas for the team's run to the NBA Cup semifinal earlier this year. He faces a federal indictment for wire fraud and could spend as much as 20 years behind bars if convicted. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Inflation is still a reality for most Americans. Brian Clark has details on a new poll out today.
7 in 10 Americans say they're spending more money on groceries than they were a year ago, while 6 in 10 say they're spending more on utilities. Respondents to the ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll blamed tariffs. 55% of all political affiliations said tariffs hurt their family's own financial situation.
All right, let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 184 at 47,152. NASDAQ also down almost a full percent. The S&P's down more than 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smile and Mark McKay in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
All right, good morning, Sabrina. And we've got a big crowd trying to get through Conyers this morning. Travel advisory, crash, only a right lane open. I-20 westbound just past exit 82. That's Highway 138 with delays stretching back almost to Alman Road. Go ahead and use Irish Drive or the Dogwood Drive. That's north or south of I-20 to avoid the big backups that are rolling through Conyers this morning. West side perimeter slow slow because of construction. 285 northbound on the brakes as you leave Camp Creek Parkway headed north toward I-20. And the delays on I-85 coming out of Union City has to do with rolling construction in 2 left lanes of I-85 northbound just past Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunny skies today, high 68, lows tonight in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48, afternoon high 75.
56 degrees right now under sunny skies in Tucker. Powder Springs has 55. It's 57 in Covington. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The core four with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, Scott Slade's going to join us live talking about the ACA subsidies, folks losing their, at least if not losing their health care, seeing sticker shock on when they do open enrollment for ACA. Relatedly, Deborah, I planned on doing open enrollment live on the air today because I haven't even logged on yet. I'm scared, but I'm not. We have too big of a show, so maybe tomorrow I'll take the listeners through my open enrollment process. Did you do it yet?
No, I'm going to do it later this week.
Okay. Maybe we'll do it together.
I don't need to do it on the air.
No. So I might do that. Debbie Gibson's going to join us. Kenrick Green, actor from The Walking Dead, and our buddy George Estevez from Channel 2 is going to be live in studio. And Deborah has another pair of tickets to see Sting at Chastain. We'll do that after the news at 11:35. I do want to update day 35 of the government shutdown. Let's go to Capitol Hill. Government shutdown now in 35, which, by the way, is tied for the record longest closure. CBS's Michael Toscano reports the Senate Republican leader says he's feeling optimistic the end might be near.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune offers no details, but says,
based on sort of my gut of how these things operate, I think we're getting close to an off-ramp here.
And so the upper chamber of Congress will try for a 14th time today to vote on and pass the funding bill sent over from the long-absent House of Representatives. Even if that should pass, however, it's not the end. The legislation only provides funding to November 21st, and Thune says that's going to need extending to get the undone full budget work done. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
So even if Thune is right and they get a deal done soon, they got to turn around and do it again on November 21st. In the meantime, we are seeing massive delays. I actually have flown out of the Houston airport once on the Braves plane, the Braves Delta plane, when they were playing the Astros in the World Series. I got to fly with the team, which was an amazing experience. But I have no recollection whatsoever of the Houston airport because the Braves team didn't go through the normal TSA, Deborah. There was like a special side, celebrity TSA.
Right, you're already pre-checked.
Yeah, well, we still had to walk through the metal detector and, all that stuff, but it just wasn't with Gen Pop. It was a special one just for professional teams of sports, but that's all I remember from that airport. I'm assuming, Longo, you're from Texas. Have you ever flown in or out of the Houston, Texas airport?
Yeah, there's two of them.
There's two of them.
Which one is?
I don't know.
Hobby or?
But I saw videos on social media of like hundreds of people in line for the TSA gates outside of the airport. Like the line stretched hundreds of people outside the airport. Like if I pull up to the airport and I see that line, I'm like, you know what? It's just not going to happen. I can't comprehend that. So we're starting to see, because of the government shutdown and the extra pressure add on TSA agents and air traffic controllers, monstrous delays, at least at the Houston airports. Chris Van Cleve says we're going to see that for a while until the government reopens. He's at Sky Harbor International Airport in Phoenix.
Marathon-long security lines could soon become a reality for travelers across the country.
I was at the line for like about 5 hours, but I still didn't get to the check-in.
At Houston's Bush Airport on Monday, passengers waited more than 3 hours in line. TSA staffing is so low because of sick calls due to the government shutdown. The airport could only staff checkpoints in 2 of its 5 terminals.
Gosh, that's crazy. That's only 40% capacity at that airport. Stephen Abraham is a former air traffic controller who worked at JFK International Airport in New York City for more than 20 years about what's going on now with air traffic controllers.
Controllers have been working overtime, 6-day work weeks, 10-hour days for unfortunately a very long time. Add in the complexity of all of a sudden not getting paid, day 5 of a 6-day week, you're worried about paying your mortgage, you don't sleep at night. I wouldn't want that controller coming to work because you can't have a bad day at work as an air traffic controller.
Yeah,
they
good
all
point.
have to be good days.
Good point. I don't know. The last longest air traffic government shutdown was ended because of the air traffic controller system during President Trump's first term. And the one during Ronald Reagan's presidency, I don't think he could do that now. I don't know how he did it back then. He just fired all the air traffic controllers and hired new ones. I don't think that's a possibility now. I don't even know how it was a possibility back then. But is that going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back when we continuously see these monstrous lines through TSA, or every single flight now delayed 3 hours because there's not enough air traffic controllers working the system to maintain safety? I wonder if, Deborah, we got to get Ed Bastian on the show. I just saw a video. It was on social media with Ed Bastian, the president or CEO of Delta, and he was, what was it? I saved it on my Instagram reel stories, whatever. He said, by the way, if I was the president of Delta, I am never sitting in coach for the rest of my life. He sits in coach. He says he's one of the last people to board. Like he's the CEO of the company, and he's sitting back by the lavatory in the back. Hey, I give him credit for that. I would take such advantage of the flight benefits there. But I wonder if Ed Bastian or the heads of American Airlines or United, whatever, do they start putting pressure on the leaders on Capitol Hill?
Yeah, because we're mad at our flights, right?
Yeah.
We're not even really mad at
Exactly.
Air Traffic. Like I'm mad my flight to here, and you're mad at whoever you booked a flight with.
Like, I've got a flight to New York for Maya's birthday on Delta, our hometown airlines. And if it's a 3-hour flight, the people in line are like, I'm never flying Delta again. This is ridiculous. Even though so I wonder if Ed Bastian and the other heads of the airlines start putting some pressure on Senate Democrats or Senate Republicans. Be like, dude, come on, you're killing us. You're killing us. Not literally. I wonder if that's a conversation that happens behind the scenes where.
Let him into those special club rooms for.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer, you have lifetime Delta Skylab, Sky Lounge benefits forever, ever. Just end this shutdown. Because they're going to feel the pressure. And especially at those year-end reports. What is it like? Consumer reports, on-time rate. The airlines pride themselves on that. If you log onto the Delta app, it'll show you. Like the flight from Atlanta to LaGuardia, it's like 98% on time. They take pride in that.
And sometimes that's why you book through that airline. You're
Yeah.
like, if I just book through here, I know I won't have an issue.
Yeah.
Even if it's a couple $100 more.
It's crazy. So maybe that is something that can happen behind the scenes. Ed Bastian's such an interesting individual. Mr. Bastian, if you're listening, come in. We'll get it catered. We'll have Biscoff ice cream. That was what the ice cream parlor that I go to in La Vista. They had a Biscoff ice cream cookie flavor. I didn't try it. But Ed Bastian, please come in. I'd love to talk travel with you. And kudos to you for flying coach. I would never, ever. If I worked as a baggage handler for Delta, I'd be like, no, I'm sitting in the front of the plane. This is my airline. Anyway, day 35 of the government shutdown. Obviously, we are going to monitor that. Oh, I do have some new information, too, on the we had this story that broke. The FBI thwarting that terrorism attack in Michigan. And then we kind of really didn't hear anything more about it. The FBI now claims that an alleged Halloween terror plot in Michigan was going to target the LGBTQ community in the suburbs of Detroit. ABC's Luke Barr has more on the allegations.
A 74-page complaint was unsealed, basically alleging that the FBI was onto these guys starting in 2024, charged with acquiring weapons and furtherance of a terrorist organization. In this case, it's ISIS. Now, the criminal complaint allegedly also says that there were three co-conspirators. Typically, that means, Elizabeth, that they're minors and they're not charged by the Justice Department.
Interesting. So we do have some more clarity. That's ISIS-associated terrorist organizations targeting LGBTQ. That seems not in their lane. I mean, in the Mideast, they target LGBT, but anyway. And one more threat. An Illinois man's been charged with threatening President Trump. Michael Wallace has more.
A SWAT team arrested 57-year-old Trent Schneider yesterday at his home in Winthrop Harbor, north of Chicago. He's accused of posting an Instagram video in which he said he was going to get some guns and people are going to die, especially President Trump. Schneider said he's losing everything after his house auction date, which is today. In court yesterday, Schneider mentioned his mental health several times. In 2022, he was arrested for threatening to shoot up a T-Mobile store, but was found unfit to stand trial.
Oof.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
I mean, I have no sympathy. If you post a video saying you're going to kill the president, what are you doing? What are you doing? But maybe, I mean, he threatened to shoot up a T-Mobile store and was found unfit to stand trial. I want just lock him up somewhere, whether it's a prison or a mental institution. Hey, foodies, we have some new Michelin information. There was an announcement made last night. New Michelin restaurants in the southern United States. Did any Atlanta institutions make that list? We'll go in depth after we check some big delays on I-20. Let's say hello and good morning to Smiler Mark McKay.
Hello, good morning, Mark. They will improve through Conyers. It was a red alert crash just after 10 o'clock this morning. All lanes reopen, and we're still seeing the delays, though. Crash scene is cleared. I-20 westbound at Highway 138. That's exit 82, but the delays are still in place as you roll into Conyers from Covington this morning. Been working with construction in 2 left lanes, rolling up I-85 through Union City. Delays at Highway 138 take you almost to I-285. You can avoid those delays due to construction there on the south side by using Roosevelt Highway. This report sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more about their support of common threads and nutritional education at anthem.com/dream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Inc. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been
Jam starting at Langford Parkway.
counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Jammed from I-85 down towards Ponce.
There is one thing you can count on. Triple team traffic on WSB.
Stay slow once you're inside the perimeter as well.
We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
75 northbound heading up to Cobb County through Marietta and Kennesaw.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Does this sound like you, where every step or reach is a reminder of what hurts, a reminder of what you're not able to do and how far you've drifted from the life you used to have when you didn't feel that pain? Good news for you, because relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you? It's Mark Aaron from my pals at QC Kinetics, where they tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. And this Veterans Day, QC Kinetics is giving back to their heroes. Veterans will get $500 off their treatment, and for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. A great time to book your free consultation. So call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Locations in Decatur, Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, and Douglasville.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for D. Geller & Son. Treat yourself to Atlanta's best selection of fashion trends like stackable rings and gemstone necklaces. Guys, you want a bold new watch or a curb-link chain? Ladies, trendy gold bracelet or personal birthstone necklace? I need you right now to go to dgeller.com or visit their showrooms in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. What's on your wish list? No pressure. Come try on or mix and match. dgeller.com.
At Castile Heating and Cooling, we know the holidays bring joy, laughter, and lots of people messing with the thermostat. Uncle Steve, visiting from out west, wants the heat cranked way up, and all the roughhousing little cousins want it Arctic. Castile will keep your HVAC system running strong all season long with expert installation and same-day emergency service. And right now, get up to $5,000 off a new HVAC system install, plus flexible financing available on installs and major repairs. Book CastileAir.com today.
If you're hearing scratching, scampering, scurrying noises in your attic, you, my friends, have squirrels. It's Mark Aram here. Getting squirrels out of your home is challenging, and you certainly need an experienced pro to do the job right. Better get Breda to kick them out before those squirrely scoundrels start running an Airbnb in your attic for all the critters in your neighborhood. And those squirrels are not leaving without a fight. Trust me, they'll chew their way back in over and over again. You need the Breda Wildlife Guarantee to cover every entry point, old and new. The other guys only guarantee the entry point they seal, so each time that squirrel chews a new hole, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars more. The squirrels, trust me, will keep coming back, and so will Breda. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected and at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like squirrels. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Well, Chris, as you know, time just keeps on ticking. We're putting another year under our belt, so it seems like a really good time to take stock of our financial lives and put together that plan that's built to last.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
1022 on the Mark Aram Show. 1 year ago, yours truly and David Danzig from Bites and Sites were invited to the inaugural Michelin dining event here in Metro Atlanta. First time ever. The event was held again last night, not in Atlanta. Otherwise, we would have been there, correct, David? It was held somewhere
2
else?
years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah. Time flies.
Time does fly.
Yeah, so this is year 3 for Atlanta being officially in a Michelin city.
Yes, but the headline is, though, it's now expanded outside of Atlanta. It's the southeastern United States, so other states are now included. I don't really care about the other states. I just care about, but I should say the first two Michelin star restaurant in the southeast is in New Orleans.
Correct. Emeril's.
It's not the hot dog carts that I love.
It is not Lucky Dog.
Lucky Dog,
yes,
which I love. Emeril's
yes.
in New Orleans has 2 stars, which is high cotton. Any additional stars did Michelin award to any Atlanta restaurants, or it was just like holding steady?
It's holding steady. We had 9. Now we have 8. The one that dropped off was Staple House. And they kind of changed their format up, so that wasn't a surprise.
That's fine.
But we've retained the rest.
So give me the 8 that are still Michelin starred in Atlanta.
You have Atlas, which is in the St. Regis in Buckhead.
Agree.
Annie Quatrano's Bacchanalia.
Amazing.
Hayakawa, which I know you've been to.
Amazing, yes.
Lazy Betty.
Amazing.
Mujo.
Haven't been yet.
You haven't been to
No.
Mujo? It's exquisite. It's omakase Japanese.
Yeah.
O by Brush, which is in Buckhead. That's another omakase, or omakase, as Sweet Ann corrected me one time. Yeah.
I haven't been to Brush yet.
O by Brush is amazing. Omakase table or omakase table.
That's where I disagree.
You weren't a fan. Or you didn't get? It wasn't star-worthy in your opinion?
It wasn't star-worthy. It was fine.
Okay,
but I'd rather go to Hayakawa. I don't think that was worth. No, it's a fine restaurant.
Yes,
but for the price you pay,
these are all mortgage equivalent meals. And then the final is Spring in Marietta. That was a big addition that got outside the perimeter. They've just opened a secondary restaurant called Branch. So Spring and Branch, and so that didn't make on the list, but it's getting a lot of rave reviews.
David Danzig, our foodie expert from Bites and Sights. He's on Instagram, Bites and Sights. There were some new recommended, though, Michelin recommended restaurants. Just run through that list real quick.
Yeah, so these did not get stars, but they're recommended. The one is Aviz. It's in West Midtown. I ate there last week. It was the best meal I've had in 2025. I heartily recommend.
Wait, let me
Aviz.
write it down. What's the name of it?
Aviz, Avize.
Okay.
It is Alpine-inspired cuisine, so Austrian, German, French.
Interesting.
And a lot of game. I had duck. I had venison.
Enough. Keep going.
You're
Give me more. We don't have much time. I want the rest of the recommendeds.
Best barbecue in Chamblee is on the new recommended list.
Oh, okay.
Fawn in Decatur is on the list. Lucky Star, it's on Howell Mill Road. That's on the list.
Whoa. Lucky Star Chinese?
Yep.
Like a little small takeout joint?
This is made the recommended list.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yep. And then Madeira Park, that's in Virginia Highland. It's a new spot that's huge buzz spot. Pho House, or for those who call it Pho. PHO House in Duluth. And then Rio on Northside Drive. Yep.
Wow. All right. I got to check that out. Lucky Star Chinese. That's worthy of a breaking news sounder.
It's
a little hole in the wall Chinese joint.
They dig out these places, and they're always exceptional. So,
yeah, that's huge. All right. Yeah. So no new star additions, but a bunch of new recommends. And
one other thing, just to note, Lewis Barbecue. It's in Charleston and in Greenville. And it is my favorite barbecue on the planet. I would drive just to go eat at this place. It is It made the list on the Michelin list for South Carolina. It's opening in Ansley Mall here. Should be in December. It was supposed to be this summer. So we're going to be getting another exciting, very buzzworthy new place.
Food drop when they open?
Awesome. I will make that attempt.
All right, thank you. David Danzig, Bites and Sights. Maybe next year you and I will get invited back to the Michelin award ceremony.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to Lucky Star for lunch.
Yes, sir.
That blows my mind. So proud of them. Good stuff. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, Scott Slade joins us live. ACA recipients, the Obamacare folks, subsidies going away, how that's going to impact us here in Georgia. Scott Slade live with the latest next on The Mark Arum Show.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
As we all start to ponder the things we're thankful for, how about sparing a thought for your faithful garage door? Protecting your car from the wind and rain, standing guard against hurricanes and pelican poop. If crazy Uncle Mick ruins yet another dinner being overly thankful to a bottle of cheap hooch, how about you thank the hard-working garage door who's always there for you? Drive in and drive out. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. We can help you show some love by keeping your garage door healthy and happy. Clean and lubricate the tracks and rollers, or repair some old damage that gets on your nerves. And your door will stay loyal for years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and treat him nicer than Uncle Mick.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Looking for your next great adventure? At Capital Investment Advisors, we know travel isn't just a vacation. It's a core pursuit that fuels happiness. In fact, research shows happy retirees pursue nearly twice as many adventure-related core pursuits as unhappy retirees. That's why we created 101 trips to take in retirement. A free guide with luxury escapes, wellness retreats, cultural immersions, and trips for the grandkids. Download your copy today at yourwealth.com/101 trips.
If your floors feel bouncy and uneven, it's time for AquaGuard Foundation Solutions Crawl Space Experts. Simply go to aquaguard.net and set up an appointment. It's fast and it's easy, and your floors will appreciate you. AquaGuard, the trusted local experts. Remember, AquaGuard.
Hey friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof. Online at drroof.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. Happening right now. Voting underway. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission are on the ballot today. Why should you care? Well, it could impact your power bill. Whenever Georgia Power asks to raise rates or build a new power plant, they need approval from the PSC. University of Georgia political science professor Dr. Charles Bullock.
Public Service Commission is not that well known, and the candidates are also not that well known. It's a contest on which people generally fall back on their partisan identification.
Now, Bullock says the results will come down to turnout, but either way, he does expect the results to be close. According to the Secretary of State's office, 640,000 people, or about 9% of the state's registered voters, have cast ballots in the race so far. There are also a number of other races on the ballot in the metro area, including mayors, city council seats, and a number of referendums. Be sure and stay with us and check back this evening for results as those polls close. We'll bring them to you. Mostly sunny this afternoon and a high of 68, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. We are remembering former Vice President Dick Cheney this morning. Jonathan Karl has a look back.
Cheney's first big job in Washington was working for President Gerald Ford's chief of staff, Donald Rumsfeld. And when Rumsfeld was named Secretary of Defense, Cheney, just 34 years old, became the youngest person to hold the title of White House Chief of Staff. After Jimmy Carter defeated Ford in the 1976 presidential election, Cheney returned to Wyoming and ran for Congress. Ended up serving 5 terms in the House of Representatives.
And former President George W. Bush describing Cheney in a statement this morning as a decent, honorable man. Cheney was 84 years old. Wait times are getting longer at airport security checkpoints as the government shutdown drags on. Here in Atlanta, at Hartsfield-Jackson International, there have been sporadic disruptions. Johnny Jones represents TSA workers at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. He says staffing shortages are worsening as agents continue to go without pay.
There's a lot of people that are just straight up out of money, don't have anything, no food, they don't have any rent money. You know, some of them can't come to work because they don't have any money.
And Texas airports have been hit especially hard. TSA agents and air traffic controllers have been working without pay since the shutdown started. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had said that agents would not be fired for not showing up for work. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines announcing new uniforms, the airline returning to the company's signature colors of navy, burgundy, and red. The collection also revives favorite styles from Delta's earlier days, including the employee favorite wrap dress from the 2000s. Delta is going to be doing away with that plum passport color. Some employees had claimed that something in those uniforms caused rashes, headaches, and hair loss. The Distinctly Delta collection will be debuted in the wear testing phase come next summer, and then it'll be ready for all 65,000 employees to wear in 2027. Lester Jones, you may not know the name, but you might know this. He was a senior vice president of finance for the Hawks, and now he's in a world of trouble as federal prosecutors say he used money, credit cards, and fake invoices to fund luxury trips, jewelry, and personal expenses totaling millions of dollars. Jones has pleaded not guilty to one count of wire fraud. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in federal prison. And if you want to protect your brain, get moving.
Even a modest amount of physical activity can delay Alzheimer's disease for years. That's according to a new Mass General Brigham study that showed people who walked 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day saw cognitive decline delayed for 3 years on average.
And Michael George reports people who walked 5,000 to 7,000 steps a day delayed cognitive decline for 7 years. All right, let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 97 at 47,239. NASDAQ is also down almost a full percent, and the S&P is down more than 0.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay in the 24-hour traffic center.
May want to find another way out of Fairburn Union City. Rolling construction has 2 left lanes knocked out. 285 northbound. That's I-85 northbound, right at the I-285 interchange. Just north of Flat Shoals is where they're working, and I'm seeing delays back at Highway 138. Take Highway 29 Roosevelt Highway to get up and past Hartsfield-Jackson Airport this morning. Once you get into downtown, things are sluggish at best on the connector. No big delays. Northbound 75, 85 up to I-20, and improving out of northeast Atlanta Buckhead. Still tap of the brakes, though, on 400 and I-85 as you roll south towards 17th Street. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. Sunny skies through this afternoon, high 68. Sunset this evening around 5:45. Temperatures falling to the mid-40s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48, afternoon high 75.
It is 58 degrees in Duluth. Peachtree City has sunshine and 60 degrees. It's 57 right now in Roswell. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
We only want to be around people who think exactly like us.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
God forbid you actually converse about the world.
Eric Von Hessler.
Smash and conquer, my friend.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The Teamsters Union and the American Federation of Government Employees, more traditionally allies of Democrats.
That's Majority Leader Senator John Thune talking about the government shutdown, how it impacts our health care. Scott Slade live in depth, 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
And the holiday season is officially underway. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. You and I both know that there's nothing worse than having a house full of family and friends and your HVAC system goes all wonky. So right now, Coolray is offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete Carrier system. You take care of your family and friends, Coolray will take care of keeping everyone comfortable. Call or go online today at Coolray.com and book your appointment. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
So many estimates. Get off the home exterior roller coaster. Save time and money. Get it all done in one with Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie, the owner of Painting Plus. Over 30 years, we've mastered everything exteriors. Trust the Plus family of businesses for everything on your list.
Painting Plus. Anything and everything exteriors at the highest quality. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more.
Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
I have received assurances that they will be kept safe and well by the Iranian government, and I expect the Iranian government to carry out those assurances.
46 years ago today, as heard on WSB Radio, that was Secretary of State Cyrus Vance after Iranian militants seized the American embassy in Tehran, taking 90 people hostage. 52 of those hostages will remain there for 44 days until January 20th, 1981, when Ronald Reagan took over for Jimmy Carter. If you haven't seen the movie Argo, great movie about the Iran hostage situation. Scott Slade joins us. I'm sure you remember that, the Iran hostage crisis. What I remember most is every night after at the news, Walter Cronkite would be like, day 374 of the Iran hostage situation. That was a big moment in American history.
Oh, yeah, it sure was. And if anything, Jimmy Carter would likely argue, if he was still around to do so, that it was one of the things that undid him for a second term. And Ted Koppel, too, got famous. Remember? The Nightline. That was the birth of Nightline.
That's
on
right.
ABC. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Sure
and
was.
Argo. Have you seen Argo, Scott, with Ben Affleck?
Yes, I have.
Oh, such a good movie. Such a good movie.
It really is good. It really is good.
Yeah.
Well, we are at an inflection point here, aren't we? I mean, between the government shutdown and then as we look at what you could call a pending crisis over health care. I caught Georgia Insurance Commissioner John King in Savannah yesterday, actually lambasting Congress, Mark, calling it an amateur hour Congress for the healthcare impasse. And one of the things he's worried about, forecasts that enrollment could plummet. He expects retention to be a challenge during the open enrollment period, which began Saturday and continues through January 15th. And you might ask, well, how does that affect you and me? Well, this is a pretty good opportunity to dig a little deeper into this, and I'm finding out something new every day. Since healthcare premiums and the government subsidies to help pay for them does seem to be the sticking point. Ariel Hart writes about healthcare issues for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And first of all, when we're talking about the health insurance price crisis and subsidies, we're not talking about the kind of health insurance a lot of folks get at work, right?
Right. There's no majority of people getting their insurance at work or another way. It's split among people. Some people get it through their job, some people get it through Medicare, Medicaid, what have you. And about a tenth now of Georgians get their insurance on the Affordable Care Act marketplace, which in Georgia is known as Georgia Access. Especially during the pandemic, membership just exploded. More than 1 million Georgians now are insured on the ACA Georgia Access here.
Okay, Mary, there's about 10% of Georgians, Ariel is saying, are covered here, and that's what, about 1.2 million? So how's it going to be determined what people pay? Ariel Hart says it's still all about your insurability, how much of a risk you are, and how much you've been leaning on the enhanced subsidies that are expected to expire at the end of the year. A double whammy of how big a risk you are and how much help you've been getting from the government to pay those premiums.
Right. There's no majority of people getting.
And back to Ariel Hart on that, it's an interesting place to be.
The key is it's going to be different for every individual. There are different factors in there depending on how old you are, depending on if you've ever smoked, how many people are in your household, and what county you live in even. But across the board, there are going to be increases. For some people, the increases are going to be bigger than others.
How big? I mean, we've even heard some anecdotal comments about folks seeing their premiums quadruple. Could that happen?
Yeah. There are going to be some people who see their premiums pretty much quadruple. And those are going to be people who were the big beneficiaries of the subsidies enacted under the Biden administration. Those are going to be people who make just over the median household income. Technically, it's 400% of the federal poverty level. Under the original Obamacare, the subsidies did not go beyond that level. So if you made over a certain amount of money, then you just were not going to get any federal premium help. You were going to pay full market price. And during the pandemic, that changed. Under the Biden administration, they decided that no household would pay more than 8.5% of their household income on premiums, no matter what they made. So the people who got the biggest help from that were the people whose income was kind of just over that 400% of the federal poverty level. So that's people who make basically $85,000 a year for a household of two or more. Those people are really going to see a hit.
Speaking with Ariel Hart, she writes about healthcare issues for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So 1.5 million Georgians signed up for insurance coverage through Georgia Access, Obamacare if you like, in 2025. And Ariel says it would not surprise her if 200,000 Georgians drop out of ACA coverage next year and not find replacement coverage. Now, here's where it really gets interesting. There could be a ripple effect impacting many more Georgians outside of Obamacare.
So, it's hard to yet, but every Georgian is going to see changes. Insurance prices change from year to year anyways. But there's this kind of ripple effect that's happening because the insurance companies predicted or were asked to calculate their prices, predicting that the subsidies would expire. That means that their pool of people that they're calculating for also changed. So they had to predict that people who aren't so sure they're going to want a higher priced insurance are going to drop out. Those people tend to be healthier. If you have cancer running in your family, you're going to think twice or three times about your insurance. But if you're healthy and you don't feel like you have a lot of risk, then you might not think twice. You're just going to drop it. And so the insurance company knew, okay, we're going to have some people who are sicker here. And so we're going to have to raise our rates for everybody. And that is something that you're going to see no matter what kind of income you made.
Ariel says prices in Georgia, Mark, are expected to increase the most for those who are older and just above middle income and for those just above the poverty level. By the way, the Congressional Budget Office estimates extending the subsidies could cost $350 billion over 10 years nationwide. But this whole idea of healthy people dropping out could wind up costing everybody more to get health insurance. Just hit me between the eyes.
I knew that people were going to drop out, right? I've been seeing the sticker shock and be like, well, I just can't afford these premiums. I can't afford 4,000% increase, as you mentioned, on a premium. So I knew that there was going to be attrition on folks that were in there. I didn't connect the dots, though, that with fewer people insured, and assuming healthier folks drop out, that the folks that keep the insurance, their premiums are going to go up significantly because there's a smaller pool of folks that are paying those premiums. So, so even if you're not on Obamacare, if you get, we just got our open enrollment sign up here, Scott. I'm scared to do it. I'm scared to click on and see what I'm going to be paying next year.
Oh, you haven't seen it? You haven't seen the numbers yet?
No, I might do it live on the air tomorrow, so
there you go.
Folks can share my pain. But that's wow, that's interesting.
One more thing, Ariel says to get more information about Georgia Access, be sure to go to georgiaaccess.gov, not .com or .org. It's georgiaaccess.gov is the official site, and that's where you get arguably the most reliable information.
georgiaaccess.gov. All right,
Yes, sir.
Scott, there's a million other things I want to talk to you about, but we're out of time. I want to talk to you about the passing of Dick Cheney. I want to talk to you about Election Day, but I guess I'll have to wait till Thursday for Scott Slade's Georgia to get all the recap on those stories.
I'm sorry. Thanks for going into the weeds with me on that, though.
No, such a huge story. And 1 in 10 Georgians. That's 10% of Georgians are on that Affordable Care Act. georgiaaccess.gov. Scott, always a pleasure, my friend.
Always mine, Mark. Thank you.
There you go. You'll hear Scott Slade's Georgia Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News with Scott Slade, and the legend himself joins us live every Tuesday here on the Mark Arum Show. All right, when we come back, 80s pop icon Debbie Gibson live on the Mark Arum Show. I know Smiler Mark McKay remembers Miss Gibson from the 80s.
In my dreams. We were singing that this morning.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, you're not singing a great tune on the east side perimeter. Now that a crash has cleared, we're starting to see some lanes open, but 285 southbound has been halted just below Highway 78. All lanes have been held to clear a crash near Memorial Drive, exit 41. West side perimeter's not in good shape out of Smyrna this morning due to rolling construction. 285 southbound past exit 12. Hollowell Parkway and Union City is a rough ride up north heading toward I-285 due to more construction in two left lanes. 85 northbound just above Flat Shoals, exit 66. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
Informative and topical when you want
And
it.
he's involved in keeping Chinese communist students at American University.
And a break when you need it.
I forgot to leave food out for the cat. Can you go check on the cat?
Eric Erickson.
By belittling other people, you show your tribal loyalty.
Today, starting at noon. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Do not stress about your aging water heater. Get peace of mind from my friends at Reliable. Mark Aram here. Check it out, guys. A new water heater, only $29.99 a month from Reliable. Or you can go tankless for only $59.99 a month and enjoy instant and endless hot water. Unbelievable service, lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and low monthly payments. Schedule an appointment right now at their website, reliableair.com, or call or text 770-594-9969.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
John, my guy, look who it is. Been too long.
Hey, Taylor. Yeah, just trying to keep my head above water.
What's going on?
Well, the restaurant's bleeding. Back taxes are crushing me. IRS letters coming faster than drink orders.
Been there. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Then I called 5-Star Tax Help. Total game changer.
5-Star?
Yeah, they handled everything. Back taxes, penalties, payment plan. They've got seasoned tax attorneys who know exactly how to deal with the IRS. After 17 years, they're ranked #1 with Forbes and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Seriously? All right, I'm calling them now.
800-516-8408 or 5startaxhelp.com. The IRS doesn't wait.
Hi, this is Victor Latham, lead tax attorney at 5-Star Tax Help. If you're behind on taxes, don't wait. We've been solving tax problems for over 17 years. We're ranked #1 by Forbes, and we hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call us today at 800-516-8408 or visit 5startaxhelp.com. Let's get your peace of mind back before the IRS makes the next move.
Cheers, man. Next round's on me.
That is, if the IRS doesn't swipe it first.
Do you have any idea how often I have used Omaha Steaks products on my front porch for my friends and family? You know, I have guys over on Sunday nights. We watch football, drink some bourbon, have cigars, and I cook. And very often it's a steak platter. And I get it from Omaha Steaks. I make some bread, usually focaccia, and then I'll get the New York strips from Omaha Steaks, maybe some sausages as well, and throw them on the grill and just mix it with the bread. And it's easy to do, and Omaha Steaks makes it so easy. And you can do it too. And right now, get $35 off at Omaha Steaks with promo code ERIC at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. You go to omahasteaks.com. You know, and they're the official sponsor of tailgating right now. It's the perfect time of year to watch football and grill out from Omaha Steaks. I do it. You can too. You go to omahasteaks.com right now. Get $35 off with promo code ERIC, ERICK, at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com.
Apologies to my coworkers here at WSB Radio. For the last 7 days, I've been singing nothing but Debbie Gibson, and my voice does not compare to Miss Gibson, who joins us live on the Mark Aram Show. Debbie, good morning as always. Thanks for your time. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Well, now I need to hear you sing a few bars. Come on.
You know, going into the break, Longoria, Only in My Dreams, that's the one I've been singing. I think that's where I come closest to your abilities.
Well, come on, let's hear what you got. Yeah, that's the song that started it all for me, and always a special one.
Oh, listen, I grew up, I'm an 80s baby, and your poster was on my wall, and a lot of the folks listening's wall. We're wildly familiar with your music career. I didn't know you're an author. You're going to be speaking at the 34th edition of the Book Festival at the Marcus Jewish Community Center of Atlanta, November 8th at 8 p.m. Your book, Eternally Electric, The Message in My Music. You're an author. That's awesome.
I am. I'm so excited. I mean, listen, I think when you're a writer of any kind, you're a writer, like I'm a creative person. But at the same time, writing about 90,000 words is slightly different than writing 4-minute songs. So it was a crazy undertaking. I'm so excited about this book festival. And I love Atlanta. So yeah, it's exciting. And people seem to be really responding to the book because, listen, there's obviously the stuff that people want to know about my showbiz life, but I think the messages in the book are so universal because, I have lived a lot of life at this point, and a lot of the kind of universal challenges that everyone's gone through, and I'm having the best kind of second act one can possibly imagine. I'm having fun. It's the greatest thing in life when people are like, "How are you? How's your life going?" To be able to say, "I'm having fun."
Yeah.
And and I hope that people in reading the book and coming to this talk, because the talks I've been doing and the Q&As go even beyond the pages. And the idea is that everybody walks out with a shift and kind of ready to tackle those challenges in their life, and that's what's been happening. So I am super excited about the whole thing.
So it's November 8th, 8 p.m. at the Book Festival. I don't know your travel plans, but I would love for you to come to town a little early, put on some sort of, not a disguise, but maybe a hoodie and a hat so people don't know you. There's so many karaoke pictures. What's it like ground level?
Yes, all of it. There will be a photo op and signing. And if you go to my website, DebbieGibsonOfficial.com, all the info and tickets available there.
I will see you there. All right, let me clear my my throat. Let me see if I can do you any justice.
I'm so
no,
ready.
This is too much pressure. This is too.
Oh, come on now.
Let me get to the chorus.
I'll
Debbie
kick
Gibson.
it off.
Go, kick it off.
I'm up to no good. We're still in the verse. I want to start again. Oh, it's early for me to sing this high. I could do the good baby.
There you go. I can't top that.
Okay, here comes the chorus. Ready?
Only in my dreams.
Yep.
Cats around town. Debbie was always in my dreams. Debbie Gibson, we'll see you in Atlanta November 8th. Thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Thank you. The duet nobody knew they needed. Have a great day, everyone.
See ya. That was embarrassing. Thanks for jumping in, Deborah, and trying to help me out there. Debbie Gibson, Saturday, November 8th, 8 p.m. Get her book. She'll sign it. News, weather, and traffic next on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Steel Horse Law knows that your bike is made of steel, but your heart is made of gold. If someone causes you to lay your bike down, you deserve the very best from an experienced firm that knows bikers because they are bikers. Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. They're local, so they understand the changes to Georgia law, and you'll meet directly with your attorney, not just an assistant like the mega firms. Schedule your free accident evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere, live, to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Got a leaky pipe, heating, or cooling issue? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. We're not just the helpful hardware folks, we're the helpful home service and repair folks too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Online at acehardwarehomeservices.com or call 770-233-7787.
Scratching, scampering, and scurrying noises in your attic? You've got squirrels. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. Better get Breda Pest Management to kick them out before those squirrely scoundrels start running an Airbnb in your attic. Those squirrels not leaving without a fight. They'll keep coming back, chewing new holes over and over again. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected and at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
As we all start to ponder the things we're thankful for, how about sparing a thought for your faithful garage door? Protecting your car from the wind and rain, standing guard against hurricanes and pelican poop. If crazy Uncle Mick ruins yet another dinner being overly thankful to a bottle of cheap hooch, how about you thank the hard-working garage door who's always there for you? Drive in and drive out. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. We can help you show some love by keeping your garage door healthy and happy. Clean and lubricate the tracks and rollers, or repair some old damage that gets on your nerves. And your door will stay loyal for years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and treat him nicer than Uncle Mick.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. There's new information this morning on the government shutdown and the partial funding of food assistance programs. Rachel Scott reports that it may be a little too late.
This is only partial, and officials warn that this could take weeks for that relief to actually reach the families that need it, partially because the systems that they are using and operating with are decades old. And so they say it's going to take some time for that relief to filter out in these states and these communities. And it's still unclear who exactly is going to get these benefits and who will not.
And this is day 35 of the government shutdown. Lawmakers still no closer to an agreement on funding the government. Your weather for today, mostly sunny and afternoon highs around 68, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. All right, have you voted yet? It is Election Day, and for the first time in years, 2 of the 5 seats in the Georgia Public Service Commission are up for grabs, District 2 and District 3. So why is this race interesting to you? Well, because the PSC is the regulating body in Georgia that sets rates for utilities like Georgia Power, so what you and I pay. There are also a number of other races on the ballot today, races for mayor and city council seats, as well as a number of referendums in the metro area. Check back for updates as we will bring you the results once the polls close this evening. More on the life of former Vice President Dick Cheney. Cheney was a hard-charging conservative who became one of the most powerful and polarizing vice presidents and a leading advocate for the invasion of Iraq. Cheney led the armed forces as defense chief during the Persian Gulf War under President George H.W. Bush before returning to public life as vice president under the younger Bush. Former White House official Ashley Davis was the special assistant to former Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge during the George W. Bush administration, and she talks this morning about her memories of the former vice president.
There were the talk all the time that Dick Cheney was this evil person. So my office, fortunately, in my early 20s was right beside his in the West Wing, and he was more of a grandfather figure to me.
Now, Cheney died of complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. He was 84 years old. We do have an update on the man accused of wearing a Nazi costume and hitting a woman with a beer mug outside an Athens bar. New this morning, we've learned that donors have now contributed more than $20,000 in an online fundraiser. 33-year-old Kenneth Leland Morgan is charged with felony aggravated assault and a misdemeanor count of simple battery. The fundraiser saying he and his family have been harassed and bullied, and the money will go to help them as well as legal fees. And a former top executive with the Atlanta Hawks accused of stealing millions of dollars from the NBA franchise, he could be looking at some very serious prison time.
Luxurious travel, sports cars, jewelry, and other lavish items. These are the kinds of purchases Lester Jones is
accused of making over several years using team accounts and credit cards. He then allegedly took great steps to conceal the fraud with doctored records and fake emails. One instance revealed in a team audit involved a fraudulent charge of almost $230,000 allegedly spent for business while in Las Vegas for the team's run to the NBA Cup semifinal earlier this year. He faces a federal indictment for wire fraud and could spend as much as 20 years behind bars if convicted. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
As we check your money this morning, we're in the red. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P all in negative territory. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams, how are we doing on the road? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We got a few slow spots out there, like that 85 North trek out of Union City up toward the airport. You're jammed up with that rolling left lane construction now approaching 285. If you want to avoid it, you can use Highway 29 as an alternate. Better news over in Clarkston. Crash cleared 285 southbound, the Interloop Memorial Drive, exit number 41. And you're tapping the brakes through Midtown downtown, 7585 southbound from 17th Street down to Cortlandt Street. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunny skies today, high 68, lows tonight in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48, afternoon high 75.
It is 60 degrees in Jefferson, 61 in Smyrna and Clarkston. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
Welcome back to the show on, yeah, you guessed it, another extremely busy Newsday Tuesday. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Some big stories we are following. Election Day here in Georgia. A couple of minutes we'll go to D.C. and preview elections in other states. Day 35 of the government shutdown, how it is impacting you and me. Coming up in 30 minutes, George Estevez from Channel 2 Action News going to join us live in studio. And Deborah, you've got another amazing pair of tickets to give away today, my friend. Tickets to see Sting.
Sting at Chastain the next spring.
Yeah. Apologies to Debbie Gibson, by the way, in that last segment when I tried to sing along with her. That was embarrassing, but we'll delete that off the podcast, Longoria. I don't need any audio evidence of me singing along with Debbie Gibson. We're going to get back to our top stories in just a second, but joining us live in studio, honored star of a show that here in Atlanta we're all familiar with, The Walking Dead, actor Kenrick Green, joining us live in studio. Kenrick, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
This is, before we get to your amazing projects coming up, Walking Dead, I'm assuming you spent a lot of time in Atlanta with that show.
Oh, yeah. It's like coming back to home, or at least a familiar friend. You know, it's good to be back.
How did you, Walking Dead, just a monster hit and huge economic impact here in the metro Atlanta area, because there's like a cottage industry. There's Walking Dead tours and Airbnbs. And how did you wind up in The Walking Dead?
Oh, gosh. Well, it started off, my wife was on the show first,
okay.
Martin Green, and so she started season 3, and so we were kind of down there as a unit together, just getting to know, and then I started season 6, just happened to be on the show. I read 5 times before I actually got cast on the show. So by the time I was there, it was already I felt like I was already on the show, so it was just like business as usual, and then went all the way through season 10.
So they pump faked you 5 times before they finally cast you?
Just had to find the right fit, which I'm glad that it ended up being Scott. Some of the other things that I read for, I would have been grateful for anything.
Yeah.
That role was the right one for me.
And you got to work with your wife, spend time in Atlanta. Now, filming The Walking Dead, I would imagine just logistically, you're not staying in Midtown or Buckhead, or you're probably staying down in South Metro. Where were you living during the time?
We bounced all around. We had to deal with, we were up on Cheshire Bridge Road, and then we were at Montag Circle. We stayed in Fairburn one season. We never quite found a place to just kind of remain for the time we were here, but we got to see a lot of the city.
Yeah. Well, I know fans of the show are losing their mind right now that you're in studio. I had to start off with that because the listeners absolutely. All right, so I'm very excited actually. So you've got a new Amazon MGM feature releasing today. Is today?
No, Friday, November 7th.
Oh, I thought it was the 7th. So this Friday, called Sarah's Oil. I know all about this story.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So this is a story I was taught in school, like Sarah's story. And
gosh, we all need to go to your school.
And that's why I'm such a highly underpaid radio host, because I knew about Sarah's. And it's funny because I think it was in college where I learned about it. And I was like, even then, I was like, this would make such an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And it took till 2025 for it to happen. Before we get to the movie, tell folks that aren't familiar about Sarah's story, because this is one of the most remarkable American success stories of all time.
Yes. It's so amazing that you actually learned about
Yes.
this in your education, because I knew nothing about it before I came across the script. So Sarah Rector, 11-year-old girl, youngest black female millionaire in American history.
Yeah.
And no one knows about her. But her story is incredible. She inherited this plot of 160-acre plot of land that was rocky and kind of desolate, forgotten. Most people in those days that inherited that land, they just had to give it up because they couldn't even afford the taxes. She believed that God spoke to her, said that there's oil in the land, and even with her parents not agreeing with her, with the other people trying to take from her, she stuck with her convictions, ended up having oil, struck a deal with Rockefeller, and she became super rich,
And
making more money
once,
than the president.
Again, because I actually remember why this wasn't even a history class that I was taught in college. It was a literary fiction class. One of the few classes I went to because I enjoyed it. And we read a book about this.
Wow.
About her story. So it wasn't your schools were fine because it wasn't taught in history. It was actually a literary fiction because someone wrote a book about this. And once oil is discovered on the land, like people came after her, right? Like my recollection,
yeah.
like, wait, 11-year-old black girl owns oil land? No. We gotta rectify this situation.
Oh yeah, and they tried to swindle her out of it.
Yeah.
But it really spoke to her faith, her intelligence, because she knew, like, as playing her father, like I couldn't read or write, right, in those times.
Yeah.
But she could read and write. She understood the business of it. She was able to kind of stand toe to toe with these guys, because before they just tried to take it, by force, they tried to just swindle her because they're saying, "Oh, this little black girl doesn't know anything."
Yeah.
But she knew enough.
And it's the oil industry in, what time period did this take place?
It was
Turn of the
Oklahoma,
century?
1914.
All right, so turn of the century, truly the wild. If you saw, what was that Daniel Day-Lewis oil movie?
There Will Be
Blood.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm picturing that, like the grittiness and just the awful pieces of society they're dealing with.
Yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon is a good comp to that too, and that took place a few years after Sarah's story.
So you found Sarah's story, or Sarah's story found you? How did you get in this?
Gosh, Sarah's story found us because, again, going back to my wife, we kind of discovered this together. Our friend, brother, and producer on the film, Andy Irwin, he's the one who kind of introduced us to the project. So we both read the script and we're like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
This is based on true, like, real history? Like, so there was this huge learning curve. And we're like, we have to do this. This movie, this script, her story represents everything that Sonequa and I want to do as actors and be a part of. So
I'm really excited. I checked out the trailer too. The trailer looks phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
So it's this Friday. So it's an Amazon MGM feature. Folks listening, Amazon Prime, we stream it at home. We go to the theaters. It's such a weird entertainment business right now.
I say go to the theaters to see it.
Yeah.
I think that there is really a power in experiencing this story with a group of people, because it's a huge conversation starter, because this is real American history.
Yeah.
And these are things that in most schools, except for Mark's, was not taught, and so it's like coming in contact with this story and hearing how other people are affected. I think that really matters, and it's kind of like this unspoken conversation that happens with an audience full of strangers.
Sarah's Oil. I'm so excited that they made this film, that you were a part of it. Final question about Sarah's Oil. Filmed in Oklahoma? Where was it filmed?
Yeah, in Oklahoma. Got to go down to Taft, where met some of the kind of like descendants from the families that started these frontier towns in those days. Like it was an experience I'll never forget.
I'm excited. The last 3 movies I've seen in the movie theater, all Downton Abbey movies. That's where my wife and I go. But I'm going to head back to the movie theater.
It's in the time period, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. I like period
region.
pieces. And
yeah.
I think just from the trailer, like this looks like a big screen kind of movie. Like,
it is.
You
it really is. It's like a low-key epic tale, but with faith, and it's got everything that you want.
And I see it on your face. Like, I interview a lot of actors. You're proud of this movie. You're excited about this movie.
Yeah, this is going to be one that whatever happens in my career from this point forward, this will be a feather in my cap for sure.
I'm excited this Friday. All right, before I let you go, Boston Blue, we had Ernie Hudson on a couple weeks ago talking about it. Who do you play on Boston Blue, and how did you wind up in this Donnie Wahlberg spinoff from Blue Bloods, right?
Yeah. So I played Charlie Price, the chief of staff to District Attorney May Silver. Who was played by Gloria Rubin. So I'm kind of the master strategist and kind of political mind in the office.
So fair to say, from Walking Dead to illiterate father of an 11-year-old millionaire to the chief of staff. No one's typecasting you.
No.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the air conditioning. I'll tell you that. Oklahoma heat was hot, so
Yeah.
being in a suit and some AC, I'll take it.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to have you in studio. Kenrick Green, check it out this Friday, Sarah's Oil. Go see it on the big screen. You heard it from Kenrick himself. Folks want to find you on social media. Are you active?
Yes, on Instagram really is the best place.
I put you in my Instagram story, so if folks want to find you through there,
perfect.
You can check it out. I'm sure you have people dealing with your social media. And
honestly, I need to find someone to deal with it.
Don't steal Vinny, who's my
Right.
phone screener and
Vinny, just take me
producer.
on, please.
Yeah. Kenrick, so good to see you. Best of luck with the movie, my friend.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
Coming up, we're going to update our local elections here in Georgia right now. Though, let's go to D.C. White House correspondent John Decker. We got a statewide election here, but I think nationally most of the eyes are on the elections in New York City for mayor, in California, governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia. What are we looking forward to at the polls today?
Well, so much is at stake. And let's talk about the mayor's race in New York City first. Last night, President Trump actually endorsing Andrew Cuomo, the independent. Of course, he's a Democrat, but he's running as an independent for New York City's mayorship. And the president saying he is the best candidate to lead New York City, America's largest city. We'll see if that endorsement has any impact at all in terms of the results in New York City. Cuomo had been trailing Mondami, who, of course, is the Democratic nominee in New York, an avowed socialist. But the president says he believes that the best person to lead the nation's largest city is Andrew Cuomo. New Jersey is an important race. That's the race for governor. There you have Republicans trying to flip that seat. It's now held by a Democratic, and right now that race is so close, too close to call. Will ultimately have to come down to turnout to determine who wins that race. And then in Virginia, another governor's race. There, Republicans are trying to hold on to the governor's mansion. I don't think they're going to be able to do that based upon every poll that I've seen. Looks like Democrats are going to flip that seat, and that would be a big win for them in this election cycle.
John, let's go back to the Trump endorsement of Cuomo. Curtis Sliwa is the Republican nominee. He's in this race. Have we heard from Mr. Sliwa on the President Trump endorsing the quote independent in this race?
Well, Curtis Sliwa, as you mentioned, is the Republican nominee. The president just doesn't feel he can win. He feels it's a wasted vote for New York City voters who are considering him. And what he's suggesting is that instead of voting for Sliwa, they potentially hold their nose and pull the lever for Andrew Cuomo. I'm sure that's disappointing to Curtis Sliwa. That being said, I have not seen one poll that shows Curtis Sliwa, the founder of the Guardian Angels, to be in striking distance of winning the race for mayor in New York City.
I'll give him his campaign credit, though. I get an email from his campaign every morning in my box. Correspondent
How about that?
John Decker joining us on the Mark Aram Show. The Mondami campaign jumped on the Trump endorsement, saying this is, Trump is endorsing Cuomo. Did Cuomo embrace the endorsement? Did he push back, or is he just ignoring it?
Well, even before that happened, Cuomo, when asked about this possibility, said that he would not embrace the endorsement of Donald Trump. I think that privately he's probably saying any little bit helps when you're talking about polls showing the gap narrowing between these two front runners. So if Andrew Cuomo can pick up a percentage or 2 or 3 or 4, thanks to this endorsement from President Donald Trump, I think he'll take it.
Sure.
Ultimately, all he's concerned about is winning the mayor's race.
Sure. Final quick question for you. California Prop 50. That's has something to do with redistricting the House seats, correct?
It does. It's California's answer to what's happening in Texas. Texas is redistricting. They want to gain a few seats, a few Republican seats in the House of Representatives. So essentially, California, our largest state, says we'll match you. If you're going to try to add Republican seats, we're going to try to add Democratic seats. And that's what that proposition is all about. That proposition looks like it's going to pass and pass easily. In fact, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, thinks it's now a slam dunk that they will win on that proposition vote.
Wow. We'll be watching the polls. White House correspondent John Decker. John, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Still to come, we're going to go in depth. If you are just joining us and you missed Austin Ellis' breakdown of what Georgians are voting for, we'll refresh that for you. Just one statewide race today, but there are a lot of mayoral elections. We've got an East Bloss, the T-Sploss, depending on where you are. So we'll break down what to expect at the polls. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has passed away at the age of 84, and it's day 35 of the government shutdown. So obviously a lot to talk about, including the ever some troublesome Atlanta commute. Let's go live to the traffic center and say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. We are still watching the brake lights heading up toward the airport on the south side out of Union City. 85 northbound slows from Flat Shoals up to 285 where that rolling construction continues in the left lanes. If you'd like, you can always use Highway 29 to scoot around that. Elsewhere, we found some construction out into Deculo. Right lane blocked, Highway 316 eastbound at Highway 29 Winder Highway. And you got the right lane construction in Temple. I-20 westbound jammed up, leaving Highway 113, exit 19, Highway 78, a fast track around that. Traffic brought to you by Callaway Resort and Gardens. Christmas at Callaway is calling. Make new memories together at Fantasy and Lights, November 14th through January 4th. Get tickets today at CallawayGardens.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Wednesday, starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, what you need to know is the Supreme Court takes up a possibly game-changing money case. We'll have the election returns and why Clark says it's not the time to borrow money on WSB.
Squirrels in your attic are not leaving without a fight. Scott Slade here. You need the Breda Wildlife Guarantee. It covers every entry point, old and new. Other companies only guarantee the entry point they seal. So each time that squirrel chews a new hole, and they will, it'll cost you hundreds more. But under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
The holidays are approaching, so let my friends at Publix help you save money by shopping on the buy one, get one deals each week. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Yeah, there are BOGOs galore at your neighborhood Publix supermarkets. I love going in there and just following the yellow brick road of BOGOs. Save when you shop with the latest buy one, get one free items, deals on your favorites, and make sure you check out the BOGO deals before you shop. You can find the weekly ad online at Publix.com or in the Publix app. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month.
and ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
And the holiday season is officially underway, and that means you need to worry more about how to cook the turkey and how to keep Uncle Phil away from the baked beans than you do about your home's comfort. Oh, that Uncle Phil. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Electrical. So right now, Coolray's offering 12 months, 0% interest financing and free installation with the purchase of a complete Carrier system. You know, proper installation is like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping your conditioned air in and Mother Nature's air out. However, maybe your HVAC is working fine. Well, Mr. Plumber, a Coolray company, is offering $100 off any plumbing service. From aging water heaters to clogged drains, Mr. Plumber has you covered. So say hello to indoor comfort and smooth flowing plumbing all season long. You have friends and family to worry about. Coolray will take care of the rest. Simply visit Coolray.com today to schedule your appointment. Mr. Plumber, Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike. For president, hang out the banner and beat the drum. We'll take Ike to Washington.
73 years ago today, you probably heard that ad on WSB Radio 73 years ago today. That was World War II General Dwight D. Eisenhower, elected president 73 years ago today.
You like Ike,
Deborah, what do you say? We should do...
I feel like the Republican and Democratic Party should bring back this,
Yes.
and I might sway my vote for that.
Yeah, instead of the hate ads, you just
Yeah,
like,
this would be so much
the
better.
happy, what were the sisters?
Like they'll do what oh gosh, I know who you're
Not
talking
the
about.
Olsen sisters,
Oh,
but
no.
the
Oh my
the
gosh.
sisters.
Yes, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like they have them singing like
Yeah.
old time. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. I played that because it is Election Day here in Georgia. At the top of the show, in case you missed it, Austin Eller from the WSB Radio News team broke down what exactly you're going to see at the ballot. There is only one statewide race today, Public Service Commission. First time that the PSC seats have been on the ballot since 2020. Well, won't get into why that is, but that's the one statewide election. You'll see that, I would imagine, at the top of the ballot. Polls will be open till 7 p.m. statewide, but the seat of Atlanta is going to stay open till 8 p.m. But if you show up between 7 and 8, you can't vote in that statewide race. You can just vote in the mayor's race. There's a bunch of mayor's races. There's Atlanta City Council races. There's South Fulton mayorship. Mayor races in Marietta, Roswell, Sandy Springs, and Stone Mountain. School elections, 4 of the 9 seats on the Atlanta School Board are up for grabs. 3 school board seats in Decatur and 7 seats in Marietta. Gwinnett is proposing a penny per dollar sales tax referendum to fund education projects on the ballot. So the polls are open now, and they will close at 7 unless you're in Atlanta. Then it's 8. And we have not determined if there will be newsroom pizza or not for the newsroom folks. I know it's an off-year election, but it's still election coverage. There should still be pizza, even if it's like the frozen French bread pizza. That's still a thing, right? That was
What you had in schools?
the one. No, I haven't. When my parents went out for on date night, and they were like, "Put this in the oven for 45 minutes, and you get the Stouffer's French bread pizza." Anyway, maybe I'll provide the pizza.
There you go.
For election night pizza. But obviously, once the polls close, we'll have the election results throughout the night. Shelley Winter, 7 to 9. As the polls close, we'll update that for you. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, we're going to update our top local stories. And another scary AI story. If you have kids, you are going to want to listen to what George Estevez has to say. He's from Channel 2 Action News. He's got a big investigation. He joins us live in studio next on The Mark Arum Show.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Annuities not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Nate Bargatze, Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. State Farm Arena, Saturday and Sunday, November 15th and 16th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Been wanting a new deck for your home? Something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
'Tis the season. Have you gotten your flu shot? At All Care, our experienced flu specialists are dedicated to providing comprehensive and personalized care, from vaccines to testing to treatment. And you can walk right in to any of All Care's 15 Atlanta locations and access our unique combination of primary and immediate care under a single roof. For flu season and beyond, say goodbye to waiting for the doctor and say hello to All Care, a proud member of the Piedmont Clinically Integrated Network.
If you need a furnace, think of Reliable with unbeatable lifetime warranty and only $59.99 a month. It's getting cold out there. Don't be a turkey this Thanksgiving. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. Reliable Heating Air wants to keep you warm and feed you too with free Turkey Tuesday. Every Tuesday leading up to Thanksgiving, listen to my show for your chance to win a free Thanksgiving turkey courtesy of Reliable Heating and Air, the name Atlanta trusts when it's time to turn on the heat. Stay cozy, save energy, and keep your oven and your furnace cooking this holiday season. Visit ReliableAir.com to schedule your furnace check today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. Flags at the White House are flying at half-staff following the death of former Vice President Dick Cheney. His family announcing his passing today, saying in a statement that he died due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Cheney served as the nation's 46th vice president under George W. Bush from 2001 to 2009. In a statement, Bush said that history will look upon Cheney as one of the finest public servants of his generation. Ashley Davis was the special assistant to former Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge during the George W. Bush administration. She talks more about her memories of the former vice president.
The vice president to me was someone who inspired and mentored me throughout my years in the White House. But I was actually with the vice president on 9/11 as he was with the president on 9/11, and we were in the West Wing. And he was the calming voice during that time.
Now, Dick Cheney was 84 years old. Your weather for today, mostly sunny, afternoon highs around 68, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards, but big changes are on the way. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Happening right now, voting underway. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission are on the ballot today. Why should you care? Well, it could impact your power bill. Whenever Georgia Power asks to raise rates or build a new power plant, then they need approval from the PSC. University of Georgia political science professor Dr. Charles Bullock.
Public Service Commission is not that well known, and the candidates are also not that well known. It's a contest on which people generally fall back on their partisan identification.
And Bullock says the results will come down to turnout, but either way, he expects the results to be close. According to the Secretary of State's office, 640,000 people, or about 9% of the state's registered voters, have cast ballots in the PSC race so far. There are also a number of other races on the ballot in the metro area, including races for mayor, city council seats, and a number of referendums. Be sure and stay with us. Check back this evening for results after those polls close. The government shutdown dragging on, and folks on food assistance programs are hurting. And we've learned today that partial funding food program that was supposed to offer help, well, it may not offer help soon enough.
This could take weeks for that relief to actually reach the families that need it.
And Rachel Scott reports that's partially because the systems that they're using are decades old. So she says it's going to take some time for the funds to be filtered out. Meanwhile, lawmakers no closer to a deal on funding the government. Jeep recalling 320,000 plug-in hybrid vehicles today.
These are vehicles that run on both battery and gasoline. The Wrangler and Grand Cherokee 4xEs have a high-voltage battery issue that can lead to a fire risk. For now, owners should park the vehicles outside and not charge them.
And Jeff Gilbert reports they are still working on a fix for that problem. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 141 at 47,195. NASDAQ NASDAQ is down more than a full percent, and the S&P is down more than 0.5%. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. He has a look at your roads.
And just uncovered some new trouble in Norcross, Sabrina. It's a crash. I see it in the second left lane, I-85 southbound, right at Indian Trail Road, exit 101. The delay is starting to creep back up into Duluth. Elsewhere on the south side, that rolling construction, I see it 85 northbound right now, getting through the I-285 interchange near the airport. That continues in a few left lanes. And on I-75 southbound through Stockbridge, seeing a few brake lights. Luckily, no crashes in the way. Just a little bit of volume through Stockbridge from I-675 down to Hudson Bridge Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunny skies through this afternoon, high 68. Sunset this evening around 5:45. Temperatures falling to the mid-40s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, high 74. Sunshine on Thursday, morning low 48. Afternoon high 75.
It is 61 degrees right now in Alpharetta. Brookhaven has 62. And Canton, you have 61 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
when
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
I do break down at night. I try not to do it in front of my kids because I am a single mother. I'm on a fixed income, so it's like, do I pay
That's
bills?
Simone. She has lost her SNAP benefits. Still to come, when will the SNAP benefits come back? But coming up next, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Sting and George Estevez from Channel 2 in studio. All next on The Mark Arum Show.
As we all start to ponder the things we're thankful for, how about sparing a thought for your faithful garage door? Protecting your car from the wind and rain, standing guard against hurricanes and pelican poop. If crazy Uncle Mick ruins yet another dinner being overly thankful to a bottle of cheap hooch, how about you thank the hard-working garage door who's always there for you? Drive in and drive out. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. We can help you show some love by keeping your garage door healthy and happy. Clean and lubricate the tracks and rollers, or repair some old damage that gets on your nerves. And your door will stay loyal for years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and treat him nicer than Uncle Mick.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Does this sound like you, where every step or reach is a reminder of what hurts, a reminder of what you're not able to do and how far you've drifted from the life you used to have when you didn't feel that pain? Good news for you, because relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you? It's Mark Arum from my pals at QC Kinetics, where they tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. And this Veterans Day, QC Kinetics is giving back to their heroes. Veterans will get $500 off their treatment, and for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. A great time to book your free consultation. So call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Locations in Decatur, Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, and Douglasville.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's BOGO week, so use your card for buy one, get one free deals on Kroger brand apple juice, Screamin' Sicilian pizza, and more participating items. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2.
Ox, a camelina, kangaroo. Much better singing there than what I did with Debbie Gibson earlier in the show. I hope you missed that. Welcome back, friends. 11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Before we get to Mr. Estevez, Deborah, you've done it again. We've got an amazing pair of tickets to give away today.
Tickets to go see Sting at Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park on May 15th.
All right, Vinny, sorry, brah. 35th day of the government shutdown. So the 35th caller to 404-872-0750. Caller 35 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Sting at Chastain, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Good luck, friends. All right, joining us in studio, longtime friend of the show, our coworker and colleague, George Estevez. George, before we get to this amazing story that's coming up tonight on Channel 2 Action News at 5, you're in here clean-shaven. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. Maya and I are at home watching Channel 2 Action News, right? And you have facial hair. Maya gets the vapors because she jumped up and took a picture of you.
Where is said picture?
In her private file on her phone. I don't know.
Text her.
In her George file. But I mean, you look good. But before we get into that, you're clean shaven now.
Yes.
How did you get away with a beard on Channel 2? Because for 25 years, it was an unwritten rule. No facial hair, Arum. Don't even think about it.
Well, I mean, in my case, I had an injury and I was kind of home for a couple of weeks and I literally couldn't stand to shave.
Oh.
So then I'm like, hey, this is a perfect opportunity for me to not do this.
HIPAA.
Right. Well, there's so much for that. But no, and the reality is that I have a whole bunch of like ingrown hairs and folliculitis parvae and all that wonderful things that you get when you have really curly hair.
Yeah.
So my face gets jacked up quite frequently.
Understood.
So I'm like doing stuff in the mirror and masks and things and hot towels and all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a minute because I can't
So
stand.
you wanted your face to recover.
Right.
And they were cool with that.
Well, sure.
Obviously not so cool.
No, the best was the viewer emails.
They loved it.
It was the haves and the have-nots.
Okay.
One viewer email was like, "It's great, good for you, the movement, the this, the that, wonderful." Mark Arum his wife loves it. It's great. But then one viewer email, our viewers are the best.
Yes,
and they're very honest, as you know.
Yes,
your listeners
absolutely.
very honest.
Yeah, brutally.
And the subject was shave. In the email, that was the subject line.
Well, here's why. I mean, I understand what you have to do. You're a TV personality. You do what they say. But I was hoping you still had the beard because I've been bearding since I retired from TV. But I can't get my beard to look as good as your beard did.
Eyeshadow. Just fill it in.
Just fill in my beard.
Mascara.
I think he's saying, but just like, where do I trim on the neck? Where do I?
Oh no, all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I went to a guy. I got a guy.
All right, you give me the guy's
I
now.
give it, and then
Okay.
the under the chin,
Yeah.
just enough to take out that double chin.
Yes.
That we may be
Yes.
afraid of having, and then the cheek
All
line,
right.
and all that.
So at the end of the day, I'll get your guy's number and
Yeah, or I'll just do it.
All right,
we'll
so
do it for a bit.
George
I'll
will be
shave you.
clean shaven tonight on Channel 2 Action News
I will.
5. You've been covering AI stories upstairs forever. We've been covering them down here. This one that you're talking about tonight at 5 shocked me. Give the listeners the backstory and what they're going to see tonight on Channel 2.
The backstory is a conversation we've all been having with AI, right? And all the good things it can do and how it can help and make your life easier and systems and streamline things and all that. There's the dangerous part, jobs. Are we going to find ourselves useless? All
Yes.
that stuff. And then there's this other chapter, which is AI tells us to do lots of things. And there's this one family whose son committed suicide. And they have proof and evidence that ChatGPT told their son how to do it. So the reality is you enter into a conversation and you have a relationship with this bot that you end up trusting to a point where it's detrimental.
People, especially folks that might not have a large social circle, they're alone a lot. They develop relationships with these AI bots and they become friends with them. And if you're friends with someone, like I'm friends with Longoria, I'll ask him advice. What should I do in this situation? And I mean, I don't want to connect the dots here, but it ends up with a dead child.
Well, it ends up, in the worst case scenario, it ends up hurting people's feelings. It ends up, transforming one's youth and childhood. And then it ends up in horrible situations like this, where we know teens and preteens have enough on their plates right now with social media. So you have this pretend imaginary friend that we all had as a kid.
Yeah.
We all had imaginary friends, but they didn't tell us to do stuff. Or they did, and we'd blame it on them, and then parents would intervene, it'd be fine. But now you have this in your own room by yourself. So there's ways, and on Channel 2 Action News at 5, we're going to take a look at ways parents can help, people can help, institutions can help, and these parents took their claims all the way to Congress.
Like, it's not even tough enough already being a parent to raising a child. It's always been a difficult job being a parent. My parents can vouch for that. I was a handful.
What was it like to be your parent?
It was not good at times.
Did you get in trouble a lot?
I did in home. Outside of the home, I was an angel.
Because
inside,
everyone had to think that you were great.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
My dad was a pillar of the community, so I had to have sparkling. But yeah,
But at home you were a terror.
But I can't imagine being a parent in 2025. Social media and AI now. It's a lot. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, you definitely want to watch George's special tonight, 5 p.m. on Channel 2 Action News.
It just goes ahead and addresses another issue with artificial intelligence and how will we police it? How will we use it? How should we not use it? What should we ban from it? So all these things, again, just like social media 20 years ago. And one of the calls to action is let's not make the same quote unquote mistake that we made with social media platforms and the accessibility and the dangers of it. Let's do this differently now.
With AI.
When
I'll
it
be
comes
watching.
to the kids, yeah.
We have another AI story. This coming, Deborah, from the CEO of Walmart. He has an AI warning to, I guess, not, to everyone that has a job currently that AI could be doing away with your job.
Yeah, so the Walmart CEO, his name is Doug McMillon. He says every single employee at Walmart, cashiers, store managers, everybody is going to be affected by AI because they're actually embracing it and they're going to teach it at their Walmart Academy, which is a global training thing that all Walmart employees go through. And they're going to see how they can actually use it for better. So it will probably replace some jobs, but it's also going to help aid in other jobs. And he's saying anything from, again, cashiers to even the greeters and the people that collect the carts, all of that will be affected by AI in the future.
Even the greeter. Are they going to be robot greeters?
Maybe.
Because I know that's Longoria's retirement plan. Like once he hangs up the
they're still going to
headphones-
be old people, like old robots.
Longoria is just going to be a Walmart greeter. He's going to do it so he can get 25% off Legos in the toy department.
Yep.
Now now your fallback is going away. AI is crazy.
Thanks, AI.
What I am going to do with AI, Deborah, we're going to go to break now. I'm going to take a picture with George in front of the sign. And this is the only thing we've been using AI for on the Mark Arum Show is to make pictures.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a picture and then we're going to transform that picture into an oil painting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Then I'll post it on social media.
Are we going to blow it up, put it on top of the fireplace?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And maybe we can do a velvet painting. There's a number of things.
I'll
that's
Photoshop
sexy.
your beard back in for Maya.
Yes, can
Exactly.
you please? She would love that.
All right, we'll be watching tonight, Channel 2 Action News at 5. George Estevez. George, great to see you, my friend.
Nice to see everyone in here, even you, Mark.
Even me, with my ugly beard. Congrats to Bryce in McDonough. Won a pair of tickets to see Sting at Chastain. We'll have another pair to give away tomorrow on the show. Right now, however, he's actually got a really good beard. I've never asked him for beard advice. Live with the latest, it's Alex Williams.
I appreciate it, buddy. I got some better news for those traveling out of Duluth into Norcross. Crash cleared out of the second left lane. Quick to do so thanks to Georgia State Patrol. 85 southbound, Indian Trail Road exit 101. Everything is back open there. Slow out in through Temple. Pretty slow this afternoon or this early afternoon. I-20 westbound. Passing Highway 113, exit 19. You got right lane construction. Think about using Highway 78 just north of I-20 as an alternate. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
The way you should live your life is look at the way they're doing it at D.C. and then just run.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
Other people are getting away with it, so you should get away with it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Well, your best day ever would have been a Tuesday. Who knows?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Normally, Rufus doesn't like the vet. But these veterans are his favorite. They protect our country. Veterans Day is November 11th, and Findlay Roofing honors our local vets. Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Right now, veterans get a special $1,500 discount on roof replacement. Offer ends Veterans Day. 0% financing is available. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. Each Saturday, my show covers Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate. Reach out to me for trustworthy residential real estate advice. My team and I at The Agency Atlanta have something amazing for you. The Agency Atlanta's Home Report Card, a free, customized analysis on your home, a secret weapon to get more when the time comes to sell. Know your home's strengths and weaknesses, how your home stacks up against your competition, and when you are most likely to get top dollar. You'll know how to bring your grade up to an A+ and net more money when it's time to move. So if selling your home has even crossed your mind, let me send you the Agency Atlanta's free home report card. This is invaluable information and it's free. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where since 1939, we've been helping Atlanta fill up their jewelry wish lists in a fun, laid-back atmosphere. We have a trained staff of jewelers, not salespeople, to help you find the right fit for any style, any occasion, and any budget. D. Geller & Son has Atlanta's best selection of fashion trends like stackable rings and gemstone necklaces, and the best value in staples like diamond studs and engagement rings. So come by D. Geller & Son
in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the costs of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
When it's real, feelings hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear.
First time in a long time we've heard from this artist on the Mark Arum Show, but it is his 56th birthday. Diddy turns 56 today. Behind Bars. This is I'll Be Missing You with Faith Evans and 112.
And it's a sample of the Police, Sting.
That's right. Yeah, good job. You think Sting's regretting allowing him to sample it?
Not ever since he cashes his check, no.
Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. One quick Diddy update. He has been transferred. Well, first of all, we didn't even talk about this. He's sentenced till 2028. He's going to be behind bars. He's in a different prison now and apparently pretty popular with his prison mates.
So they said that he's not in a traditional prison. So he's not in Oz. Like, this is supposed to be a rehab type prison. And there's been pictures that TMZ got. I don't know if they're using drones or whatever, but there's some pictures of him standing around the yard and he's dressed in gray sweats. And it seems like he's having a good time. He's laughing with some of the other people there. And so far, things to look okay for Diddy.
Say la vie. Anyway, Diddy turns 56. He's out in 2028. Deborah, I'm going to update a couple of stories. Can you get ready to give us a Hurricane Melissa update? Because we have some new numbers there. I do want to update the passing of Dick Cheney, 84 years old, former vice president of the United States. We question whether or not the flags, because of the relationship that he had with President Trump, whether the flags would be at half-staff or not. They are at half-staff at the White House. President Trump, however, has not commented on the passing of the former vice president, but he did comment in the last 30 minutes about SNAP benefits. So obviously, we've been covering the SNAP benefits went away on the 1st of November. 2 judges said that the government needs to use their reserve funds to fund partially, at least, the SNAP benefits. President Trump on Truth Social in the last 30 minutes or so posted SNAP benefits in all capital letters, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, manyfold, ! During crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, parentheses, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone asking, as opposed to those just in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, ! End parentheses, will be only given when the radical left Democrats open up government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. So defiance of the courts that said you need to release those funds. He says that no SNAP funds will be out until the radical left Democrats open the government. So I just wanted to update the SNAP benefits for those of you listening. And I know because we got a lot of submissions, a lot of folks listening do get some of those SNAP benefits. The president says he is not going to release the funds. All right, Hurricane Melissa update, Deborah. What do we know?
They're saying Hurricane Melissa caused at least 67 deaths, and it looks like about $4 billion to damage in Jamaica and 10 more in the Caribbean in general. So as of Monday, only about 77% of the homes had power in them yet, so they're still really recovering. I don't know what it's like over there because you talk to, depending on what side of the island.
It's an island.
Yeah. But the United States has pledged about $10 million in relief efforts to Jamaica.
$10 million?
Oh.
All right.
Well, they're helping. I don't know. I don't know.
I know. It just seems like, anyway, it wasn't as deadly. That's the good news. It wasn't as deadly as we had feared as being such a strong Cat 5 hurricane. We talked about Paris, Deborah. You've been to Paris. I haven't.
I have.
Did you go to the famous cemeteries like Jim Morrison's grave and all that?
Finding that is difficult, but yes, there are big cemeteries you can walk around in.
So we have an update on that. Fancy rubbing shoulders with such dead celebrities as Jim Morrison or Oscar Wilde. CBS's Vicky Barker reports in the foreign desk in London on a unique lottery.
The most famous cemeteries in Paris, Père Lachaise, Montmartre, and Montparnasse, are also overcrowded. Only celebrities of national stature tend to snag plots these days. But 30 lucky citizens hoping to share posthumous real estate with the likes of rock star Jim Morrison, singer Edith Piaf, or playwright Oscar Wilde will be chosen by lottery. And just one catch, the winners have to renovate a crumbling gravestone or memorial in exchange for a plot beside it, potentially costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
I don't know where I'm going to be buried or if I'm going to be buried or cremated, but it's not going to be in Paris. I struggle with this. And there's something
do you go back home? Do you stay here? Yeah.
Yeah. Am I buried in Connecticut? Where I grew
up,
to
Maine, where you wanted bug out,
or have my ashes scattered in the water, the lobster-filled waters of Maine, or am I buried here in Atlanta, where I've spent a majority of my life,
or do you end up in Japan?
I've got the Aram plots at the Jewish cemetery in New York. These are things I'm working out with Maya right now as we do our will and testaments. I don't know. You're the producer. You produce. Where should I? What should happen?
Wherever Maya says. Whatever Maya decides, that's where you will be.
She's going to pick Atlanta. Right.
Okay, well, that's where you'll be.
Or
then.
she'll be like, I'll take you and scatter your ashes on Mount Fuji in Japan.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a difficult thing.
I'll be shot out into space.
Oh, nice. All right. We'll make that happen. I won't. Vinny will. Vinny will make that happen.
Longoria's fact of the day.
Yeah, you won't be around.
No, not a chance.
Today is National Candy Day, and William Morrison,
hold
dentist.
on. Stop. Like 4 days after Halloween?
I know. I don't get it. Whoever's making these national days, they kind of messed it up.
All right. Give me your fact on Candy Day.
William Morrison, a dentist, and his friend, John C. Wharton, a candy maker, invented cotton candy by developing an electric candy machine in 1897. They debuted their invention, which was called the Fairy Floss, at 1904 St. Louis World Fair, where it was a great, great success.
All right, so is it National Candy Day or National Cotton Candy Day?
It's National Candy Day, but I gave you a candy fact. It's cotton candy.
Which isn't really a candy.
It is.
That's a fair food.
No, it's not a cotton.
Force
That's not a
melted
candy.
sugar through tiny holes.
I bet it's National
fine
Cotton Candy
floss.
Day.
No, it's Candy Day.
If cotton candy's not candy, what is it? What is it?
That's the eternal question,
It's a
Vin.
sweet treat.
That's the eternal question.
It's like a brownie. It's a
What is
dessert.
cotton candy?
And now, are you guys ready
In
for
its
the
name.
Mark Aram Star
Apparently,
Show?
Longoria wants you to floss with cotton candy, or the inventors.
They called it Fairy Floss.
Fairy Floss. All right. God, I double ordered Uber Eats, but I can't get star of the show because I'm in purgatory. Austin Eller, star of the show. Scott Slade, Debbie Gibson, Kenrick Green, George Estevez. I didn't even get to Brian Clark. Apologies there. I'm keeping you in purgatory so you guys don't run ahead. Run away with it. Social medias at Mark Aram. Clark Howard on the show tomorrow. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
Place and time. Oh, yes.